Welcome to Roundabout Cast 99. Woo! Holy shit, that's a lot of Roundabout casts.
Yeah, we've had incredible growth. We started about what?
We started at 0.
6 years? We started at 0, and now we're up to 700 subscribers.
Every year we gain about 100 subscribers. That's been consistent. There's been no growth on that growth. It's very funny to me.
Thanks for subbing. We never asked.
Yeah,
we love
that's
you
true.
guys.
You know what? This one time, like, comment, subscribe.
This one time. In fact, okay, no, I do have some clerical keeping to do. There's been 2 comments recently. Fuck, I should have pulled them up before. Damn it, I feel bad.
Fam.
What is that?
A vamp?
Why are you yelling fam? What are you doing?
Vamp.
Anyways, I don't know what's happening. First of all, I'm a little sick today, so I'm gonna sound extra nasally and maybe coughing here and there, but I'm gonna try not to. Second of all, there's a comment left on, I think, our most recent podcast asking, where's One Piece? We really appreciate that you're awaiting the One Piece episode. We're kind of waiting to see if the flashback ends soon. As a matter of fact, after this podcast, we all have a new chapter we can read, so that's cool. Second, someone left a comment of like, "Hey, is there a Twig tier list?" And I was like, you know what? You're right. We should do Twig. So me and Bradley have officially started reading Twig. We're planning on doing the first arc as its own video, get like our bearings, and then maybe bunch a couple arcs together. Maybe we can do like batches of 3, since that'll be 12 arcs remaining if it's 13. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I wasn't sure when Twig would ever happen in my life, but I knew it would happen eventually. So when Willer messaged me, I was like, I guess it's now.
But really, it's thanks to you, kind commenter. I'll leave a comment pinned in the top of the video, shouting both of those commenters out because we woke up. It's 9:30 a.m. We clocked in like it's a fucking day job to do this podcast on a Sunday. This is absolutely not our usual recording time. So.
We are busy people this fall.
But you know what? We figured it out. Okay. With that said, who wants to take the quick stops so I can rest my tiny little voice?
I'll go.
Oh, now we got to rock, paper, scissors. Except I can't see you because you're 1,000 miles away.
All right, on the count of 3, you and I will shout out what we choose. Ready? 1, 2, 3, rock.
Scissors. Fuck.
I won.
Wow, it worked out. I was like, this bit can't work.
All right, let's get started on the Joe train. Okay, so recently, as in all of 72 hours ago, the Dawn of War Remaster came out. This is a freshening up of probably the most influential Warhammer 40,000 game ever made. For a lot of people, this was the first 40k game like they ever experienced. For a lot of people, it's also their most favorite. This is a very, very bare bones update. All it really does is that it allows you for like HD screens, and so you have a wider format, up-reses some of the textures, makes the UI actually readable, which is okay. It's only $20. I got it for even less because I already owned all the expansions from the previous one, so I got it for like $15. But it's been nice. It's been kind of cool to be able to like play this game and not have to be squinting the entire time, I will say. So yeah, it's been very fun. I've been playing it over the past like day or two. And it's a weird fucking game, man. It's like got so many mechanics and some stuff, and then like for a lot of RTSs at the time, the main like idea was to kill your opponent's base. And then going forward, that would just come out to be like the mainstay for a lot of things. But in this game, like you have different like strategic objectives on the board, and like there's 3 ways to win. You can, if you hold over half the strategic objectives, you start a countdown timer that lasts like 5 minutes. If you hold them for that long, you win. There's 3 center objectives. If you hold 2 of them, it starts a 7-minute countdown timer, and if you hold those, you win. Same concept, but like you can reinforce or like spread out. Really interesting, but having a lot of fun. If you ever want to dive into Warhammer 40,000, this is the one to go into. It also is like nostalgic because it's very much old 40k when I started playing, where it was like the old lore, the old models, stuff like that. Um, in the same vein, Space Marine 2 actually a few months ago released their Siege update, which was their Horde mode
Oh.
for the game. This shit fucking rocks. It's so good. Basically you have it's you go through multiple waves. Every time a wave finishes, you move to another section of the fort you're defending, and you kind of rotate through there fighting Tyranids and Chaos. And it just keeps on fucking escalating. Like I got to a point where they spawned 4 bosses on the map. I'm like, we're not living. It's so much chaos and so much fun. When you're playing in each arena, you have these secondary objectives that you get, which will give you currency. You can spend those currencies to get stuff like ammo boxes, med packs, summoning more little infantrymen to your side, summoning NPC Space Marines that give you passive buffs, summoning fucking dreadnoughts that will come and shoot everyone down. It's really cool, man. It's so much fun. It's got all that Space Marine action goodness. And it's difficult and hard. It's so funny because right now in the Monster Hunter community, there's a big stigma of the game's too easy. It's this game is for babies. Meanwhile, in Space Marine 2, it's complete opposite. They're please make the game easier. My fragile little body is being torn asunder by these Tyranids.
It sounds like Monster Hunter is also going that way, because once they released, I see so many crash out posts about I can't get the A rank timing on AT, or these 9 stars are fucked up. I'm like, yeah.
And they have so previously the argument I could see about the difficulty thing was in order to get the highest tier weapons, you have to run the highest tier difficulty to unlock them. You couldn't just low tier stuff. They've implemented a system now where it's very inefficient, but you can grind low tier materials and transform them into high tier materials at a very low rate. So you can potentially get there, but it will take you much longer. But I don't know, man. If that difficulty is too hard for you, just don't play it. I think there's a lot of pride that people have, and they just can't get over the fact that some stuff is something they can't do, or it's just they're not able to rise to the challenge, or they just don't have time to commit to that kind of stuff, which I get. But I like that the game has difficulty options, and they are very wide, I think, and so I appreciate the game doing that. And the devs are pretty much sticking to their guns of we're going to keep the difficulty options. This difficulty is for people that actually like that difficulty. If you don't like it, it's not for you, which is harsh, but also true.
I feel like that's similar to how Helldivers does it, where it's just scaling up, and the top ones are for the real sickos.
I want to be a real sicko with Joe.
You should come be a real sicko with me. I think you would really like the Siege mode. It's it's a ton of fun. They also did huge class updates for everyone too. Everyone feels way better to play. The Bulwark Sword and Shield can now wield the hammer, so they're just running around with a 2-hand hammer everywhere, which is sick. So they have a whole new different playstyle. They've announced their second season, which I will get that battle pass or that pass or whatever it is when it comes out, which will include a new game mode for PvP where you control a dreadnought, and a new missions, of course, and a new class called the Tech Marine, which will be coming out, which is exciting. Anyway, Space Marine 2
sounds really cool.
Yeah, I am very excited.
AI units and summons and stuff.
It's you basically the PvP mode is that you're fighting over a point, and whoever controls the point, one of the players gets to become the dreadnought. The guy that throw the fucking rock at the dragon at the end of the game.
Yeah,
you become that guy, and you get to and then so the other team, then it becomes a boss mode for them where they only score points when they kill the dreadnought. That's what we have so far. We don't really know what it looks like, but I'm excited to see what it is.
This is a very classic PvP game mode from
big monster games. Yeah. It's they're very much going the Xbox 360. quote unquote tacked on PvP with the game. We're like, we're not gonna really like. It's not there to like do ranked. You're there to just run around and shoot dudes, right?
Yeah.
And I just Space Marine 2 more and more like I become much more respectful how like the devs are handling it, and like they're very much aware like this is our game. We're not making it any kind of more. And I think it's really paid off for them. They've had a very successful launch, and it's been one. I think it's one of, if not the most successful 40K game that's ever been released.
Let me know if you ever see that on like a very big sale, like very big.
Yeah, I'm constantly looking.
Okay.
And then finally, I finished Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2. I finished Spider-Man the video game from 2018 again for the like third or fourth time.
Yeah, that first thing you said wasn't even close to what you actually meant.
Nope. God, that game's so good. That game is like everything I want Spider-Man to be.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's like
It feels so good to play.
it's so good to play, and it's just also like I just want to fucking punch the supervillains, and I want to do shit. Like my favorite moment in that game is like you're investigating like Dr. Octopus's like hideout where he's planning all this shit. It turns out to be a trap, and you're just thrown to a boss battle against Vulture and Electro, and like the ground's electrocuted, so you have to be swinging the whole time while they're shooting lightning bolts and like throwing shit at you. I'm like, this is what Spider-Man does. It's so good. But yeah, I finished that game. Really appreciate it. I'll probably jump on Miles Morales at some point. I'm just gonna probably roll through the trilogy again. Especially for like those other two, because I have not done New Game Plus for them yet, so I'll just knock that out with them. But yeah, that game's great.
You excited for the Wolverine game?
I am.
We have a Wolverine game coming.
It's been announced forever. We don't know a goddamn thing about it.
It's the same company that did Spider-Man Bradley.
Yeah, it's Insomniac.
Okay, I'm interested.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what that's like. But until I see actual footage, that game doesn't exist to me.
Not leaked ass footage, like that. Yeah.
Like actual, like, hey,
this is a trailer.
We're doing this. Yes.
Same company, same reason why I won't play those games.
Yeah. Why do you air your qualms literally on the internet?
It's been like 7 years, 6 years.
Look, I have never played an Insomniac game in my life. I'm not about to start.
Look, Ratchet and Clank's real good. One. All right then, Tyler, you have one quick stop today, but it's an interesting one.
I have one thing. What was my quick stop again?
Naruto Shippuden.
Oh yeah.
I guess you secretly have two because you always do this.
I did do it.
Oh my god.
So
Whoa.
Kelly and I have started watching Naruto Shippuden. This is on her list of old animes she never got to experience, which is interesting because I had started reading it earlier this year. And so I've read the arc that we're currently watching. We're on the Gaara arc.
Nice.
And or the first Jinchuriki arc.
Yeah.
With the Akatsuki, and they're having their fights right now.
Deidara and Sasori and all that jazz.
Yep. So no spoilers because Kelly's making coffee in the kitchen. But yeah, this shit, I understand. Like, I used to never understand why people are like, oh, manga's better than anime, like, especially coming from like One Piece, and like I watched all the One Piece anime first, and then I started reading the manga, and I'm like, what's going on in the manga? I think Naruto is the prime culprit of this. I think they're the problem. I don't think One Piece anime is that bad compared to Naruto, but
really, is it? I know Naruto has really bad pacing, but I mean, so does One Piece.
I think each episode of Naruto is about 7 seconds.
Yeah, like I believe
like only 7 seconds of time passes. And you know that episode of Hunter x Hunter where like they jump out of the hole?
Yeah.
That's what every episode feels like when they're like raiding the mansion and they all jump out of the hole and they're like, time has the amount of time that has elapsed. 27 seconds since the start of the raid. And it's been like 6 episodes, and I'm like, that's what every episode feels like.
I mean, that shit is so peak, if we may interject. I think that's so artistically cool. but maybe not so much when it's in the Naruto Shippuden anime, because it's not supposed to be that slow. That's not how the manga goes.
No, it isn't. And I will say, maybe the Naruto manga goes too fast. But this has been consistently an issue that they've never tried to fix for some reason.
How do
It
you
happened
mean?
with Naruto, where the manga just tragically outpaces the anime. It happened with Shippuden. It happened with Boruto, and it's gonna happen with Boruto time skip. Like, it's just such weird pacing that they decided. Like, One Piece has fixed their pacing issues. They don't make filler anymore, you know. And if they do, it's in the form of a movie.
Yeah, no, like what they do is that they extend
I'm not talking
scenes.
about. Yeah, I get that, but they're at least doing some in dramatic ways now, especially in Egghead.
No, for sure. But I watched this really good episode where it's the one Kobe was escaping the island. It was a really good episode. But there was about a 45 to minute sequence of Kobe falling from the air and doing the same animation loop, and I was like, you gotta take some bad with the good.
But you're getting just that one moment. You're getting a lot more other stuff out of the anime now than you are just the manga.
Yeah, he is internalizing a lot of monologue during that time, but it is funny. Anyways.
Yeah, yeah. But so One Piece has learned from that, and I'm just like, I don't know what Boruto time skip is gonna do. I don't even know what Boruto pre time skip did.
So you don't know anything about the story then, is what I hear.
Oh no, I do. I know they're fighting the trees, man.
Okay.
You know the happening? That's what Boruto post time skip is.
It always comes back to this. They're fighting the trees, man. I'm like, I get it. The moon people and the trees, I get it.
No. The moon people.
They were early. I get it. The
moon people are the replacement for the Jinchurikis because we don't have Jinchurikis anymore, so they had to make moon people. But why they made moon people to he wrote Madara, okay, and then it's like, you know what? Nah, moon people.
Guys, y'all are sounding like a bunch of right-wing conspiracists talking about the trees and moon people trying to kill each other.
It's the truth, man.
That's why we gotta slash.
People are gonna come get you.
We gotta slash and burn. Those tree people are looking at us. Those liberal trees. Okay. Anyway, what I'm saying is, you don't even know if Boruto has bad pacing. You're just assuming. It sounds like.
No. I watched almost 100 episodes of Boruto.
Okay, you do know something.
I watched quite a bit of Boruto. I wasn't reading it. And so people were always saying, oh, this has such bad pacing. Everything is filler that they're putting in this. Like, I was like, oh no, it can't be that bad. I've read a few chapters now, just to tease myself in between Shippuden and Boruto the last or whatever. It's pretty horrendous, I will say. I don't know what the time skip is is called, because we have Shippuden, but it's not Shippuden. Shippuden's own anime only American thing, you know. The manga just keeps going. I don't Boruto has a division between Boruto and Boruto time skip. They are two different mangas.
Interesting.
But yeah, Kelly and I have also been still watching some High School DxD. Guy missed out on grabbing some boob the other day. It was very sad.
Tragic.
It's classic.
Yeah. For me.
I also watched the first episode of Golden Boy the other day. That is a wild dub that exists in the world, and I'm very happy it does.
You're on
same. Holy shit.
You're on your pervert 90s, 80s kick right now.
You want to talk about great teacher Okazama?
Onizuka?
Onizuka, yeah.
Is this a show I should watch, Joe, that you're privy to?
It's a show that I know of. It is a show I do not like. And you can figure out why in the first episode.
So you watched it, though?
I watched the first episode because this is all over Netflix, and it's apparently one of the a very beloved anime according to my very quick Google search about
beloved, you say?
Yes, well known.
It's one of those aged poorly but has nuggets of gold kind of anime, from what I know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got that guy. It's got that face from it.
Yeah.
Wait, is this the one? Is this the one where the girl? Oh no, that's a different one. That's like a very contemporary anime. I was thinking, what's that?
This could be anything.
It's animated very stylistically, and like every episode has a meme from it, and it's just about like two girls in grade school.
Nichijou.
Oh, Nichijou.
Nichijou's actually
See,
peak,
y'all knew what I was talking about.
No, I mean
That's
these
an
aren't
actual wholesome anime.
these aren't in the same category. Nichijou is art. It's elevated.
Yeah.
But is that the anime where the girls are like changing from the bathing suits, and the teacher comes outside and he's like, "What? I'm coming in," and they're like, "No, she peed on the ground." And he like bends over and like tastes it, and he's like, "This isn't pee," and he's like really sad about it.
What?
Y'all don't know what I'm talking about? Okay, let's move on.
Okay. All right, that's enough out of you, Grandpa. Let's get you back to bed. I'll go next.
I wish.
All right. I just got a couple wrap-ups on things I talked about last month. So following up, I finished Tress of the Emerald Sea. I got 2 notes here. One says "Suck it, Joe," and the reason why is in the postscript of the story. Brandon Sanderson has said one of my biggest influences in this was The Princess Bride. So, I knew there was something about it that was Princess Bride-y, and I don't even know what The Princess Bride is. But I could pick up on the vibe, okay? So I get that point at least.
It's true. Vibes are important.
They are. And I don't know if I know a single still frame from The Princess Bride, to be honest. So, like, I don't know where I was getting these vibes from. Yeah, he says he wanted to make it an adult fantasy, like whatchamacallit, fairy tale, and you definitely get that vibe. And I felt like the writing was very whimsical. So it's being like the storyteller in Tress is Hoid/Wit. It's like the only story I think that he's written.
Wait,
what?
They're in there?
Yeah, they're everywhere as far as I'm concerned.
This is a spoiler, dude.
No, it is. Oh my god, everything's a spoiler to you.
Okay, so yes, because the last book of
Mistborn
is more
Okay.
Stormlight, book 5.
I don't think that's true.
I do.
No, okay, hold on.
You trip over yourself.
Maybe. Well, yes, this is established, but what I think he's trying to say is that, like, last time I talked about how the power system is spores, and they following, like, this pirate captain called Crow, and it seemed like Tyler knew things about the spores and maybe Crow. So when I say that Hoid was involved in, like, the story in some way, I guess that becomes a spoiler. But I promise you that this is established in, like, chapter 1 or something. So it's like, okay, it's the premise of the book. Anyways, the way he tells the story feels very whimsical and, like, jokey and almost modern in some ways. And it was, as I was going through it, I was like, yeah, this is very fluffy, kind of like prose. But at the end and the postscript, he's like, I tried to make the story a little more. Did I die? Hello.
And now we hear you. You're good. Keep going.
He was like, I try to make the story a little more whimsical, coming from Hoid's point of view, but whenever I write a book about Hoid, it's going to be a little different. And he was like, trying to feel out what that character's voice sounds like when he's telling the story. And how that's going to contrast to whatever book Hoid's the main character of, where, because he's not going to be telling a story, the whimsy is going to be turned down. Anyways, I thought it was interesting, and I think, like, after hearing what he was trying to do after I finished the book, it kind of made me appreciate the book even more, because it just kind of made sense, and I think he executed on his idea really well. So, yeah, this was my first non-big Cosmere book, but I actually think this one should have a sequel, because I really like the world they set up. But it's pretty solid, pretty cute little book. I finished Death Stranding 2, and not only did I finish Death Stranding 2, I platinumed Death Stranding 2.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of gaming.
Dude, yeah, that was crazy. You were like 3 weeks ago, you're like, I beat the game, and then you played it for another 3 weeks.
But I played it so much, especially 2 weeks ago. I had nothing in the weekdays. I would finish work, do like a thing or two, like force myself not to play Death Stranding, fail, and then play Death Stranding all night. Like I would do anything to pull myself away from that game. To the point where when I platinumed it, I actually deleted it from my console because I was like, it cannot be there, like pulling me in again. I can't go back right now. It was so good, man. The actual platinum took 155 hours. I think a lot of people do it a little faster, but that seems to be like your expected time, especially if you are playing on brutal and you experiment a lot with the traversal and stuff. I was talking to Joe about it. It's like it's the kind of game where people complain about it in certain ways. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I go boot it up, and it just doesn't matter. Like I will go get into an adventure and just have the time of my life, no matter what is happening. Um, I interface with like every mechanic in the game, every mode of transport, every shortcut you can take, every weapon. I used like everything throughout like the journey, and it felt like incentivized. Especially, I think this game is really worth going for that platinum because it really pushes you to interface with the world more and go through routes that you don't usually go, which is where the game really shines. And my takeaway was, I think this is my favorite Kojima game, which is insane because like my identity as someone who enjoys video games as like one of his main hobbies is that I am the Mother 3 stan and the Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 stan. And that's been me since I was a teenager. You know, that's like the core of my identity. So for me to put a Kojima game above MGS 2 and 3 is a little scary actually, for me to do because it's like, whoa, that's a big change in my lifestyle right there. I'm a different person now as a result. But what I will say is like I think MGS 2 and 3 have the more grounded, like interesting story where like they touch on these like real to life themes, while Death Stranding 2 is a lot more supernatural. But I think what it trades off in the storytelling department is that it's the most emotional Kojima story by far, and like the climax is one of the best video game climax or story climaxes I've ever experienced. Like it was fucking insane, and it really got to me. Even knowing where the twists were going, the execution, like the visuals, the music, the way like all comes together is so artistic. And man, like they set up a stinger for Death Stranding 3, and I don't know. I think Kojima said, I made the story. I know what we're going to do for Death Stranding 3, but I'm not going to be the one to direct it. And I'm like, okay, I'm still okay with the idea because Kojima is getting old. He's still got a lot of youth, but, you know, games take a while to make, especially games at the level that he makes them. They take years, unfortunately, right? He's already working on two projects, OD, the horror game with Jordan Peele, and Physint, the PlayStation 5, like, I guess it'll be 6 by the time this shit comes out. The PlayStation exclusive, like, stealth action game, which is like, okay, we're going beyond even what Death Stranding 2 did, because Death Stranding 2 has a lot of stealth and action if you want to go do that. So I guess we'll see how that goes. So it's like, okay, I get it. He doesn't want to make Death Stranding 3. But I am super open to seeing, like, what his protege... Because, like, a video game is not made by one person. And I think a lot of people have the misconception. It's like, it's the Kojima game. It's nothing without him. It's like, no, a video game is a team of people. And if Kojima has cultivated Koji Pro correctly, there should be someone that can take his place and execute games at like a visionary level. It won't be the exact same. It won't have that Kojima charm, but it will have different charms, you know?
Yes.
So I'm open to it. And I think like video games are a relatively new art form, and we haven't really seen many of those like transitioning of styles yet, where it's like we don't know exactly who took over for Shigeru Miyamoto. I guess we are seeing like the descendants of Shigeru who are taking on the current projects. I want to see the descendants of Kojima and see what they can do. So
As it's the Ratatouille philosophy. I always like to say this: it's follow the recipe. Do not. It's their like they can innovate some, but it's not their job. Their job is to follow the recipe, you know. And within that comes innovation because it's like,
yeah,
you're not gonna like the protege is not going to cook it at the same exact timing that Kojima's gonna cook.
Exactly.
It will have variations, you know.
And I'm here
but
for
they're
it.
following the recipe.
And what they set up for Death Stranding 3 seems so fucking cool. So it's like I'm definitely I'm super open to it. I really hope it does happen. I know people will grow in a little bit. It's like, where's Kojima? Even then, he's in the studio. He's going to be producing it and very likely still writing and coming in and double checking that everything is like being okay and give his input. So like very
he's
very
gonna
open.
he's gonna show up and say I don't like this and offer no solution. Classic director stuff.
He's gonna be like needs more feet, and then he's gonna walk out.
Yeah. And then he's gonna walk back in like 3 days later with the right pair of feet that he wants. He's like, "You filmed these."
Oh man, he's a little freak. Okay, yeah, I fucking love this game, man. The thing is, if I say it's better, it's my favorite Kojima game. It is de facto my like somewhere in my 4th to 6th range of games of all time, and that like thinking about that is a little scary because last year I got Persona 3 Reload, which also slot into that range. So I need to like, and this year we got this and Expedition and then like other really good games. So I need to maybe think about that placement.
You need to calm down a bit. You need to stop having these opinions.
Yeah, I agree.
How about they stop making good stuff that I love? You know, how about Joe? I mean, if you get to the ending of that game and maybe you play a little bit of that post game, hit me up. Also, we were driving and I was like, Joe, it's very important when you get to the snowy mountains. Okay, you have to go 4-star the Eastern Observatory. This is important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, you need to do more of the Pizza Chef because
yes, I do need to do more.
You get really good shit, man. Tyler doesn't like anything, but I really want to. I'm just so curious what he would think
Of what? Death Stranding?
Yeah, Death Stranding 2 in particular.
So, Willer, I was thinking about this because I was interested in playing the game because I had some people at my office be like, the first game gives you like, at the beginning of Death Stranding 2, you get an entire synopsis of the first one. And I'm like, I'm vaguely familiar with the plot of the first one just because time has passed, you know, but I didn't play it.
I'm going to say vaguely is the operative word there because even that synopsis, like, everything people think they know about Death Stranding is like cutting out the final couple chapters where they really drill down into what the story actually fucking is. And I think a lot of people don't know what that really is or like how that plays out. So anyways, go on.
It's your Kojima's little slut Amazon delivery boy. That's the game, right?
Yeah, and some other things as well, I guess.
But I was because you're talking about how like,
Amazon slut delivery boy. What does that even mean?
You know, that's Norman Reedus.
Sure.
He's little Kojima's little slut.
Yeah, he's in the shower a lot.
Kojima a lot. Have you seen those interviews with like Rita's talking about Kojima?
It's so
funny. Like, he'd come up to me and he's like, "All right, today you are connecting the Kairos network and you are sad about it." And he's like, "I don't know what the fuck any of that means."
And he's like, and then you hold the baby and you're sad, and then there's a whale in the sky. I'm like, yeah, must be great. It seems like he really likes working with him.
Yeah, dude, Norman Reedus, because what did he did before The Walking Dead? He was Boondock Saints.
Yes,
it's like one of his most notorious movies.
I believe so.
He's just a fun actor, but like, it's weird how he's curated Norman Reedus to be the same character almost in every movie.
Typecast.
It's like,
yeah, because even in Death Stranding, like his character is very reserved. Like he does not show a lot of outward emotion. So Norman Reedus has to do all of his acting through grunts and like small eye squints that make you see that he's feeling something. And like that's most of what you're getting. He doesn't talk much in either game.
He says, "What is it, Nico?"
He goes peckle peckle.
That's not even him. That's
I think
that's the hat.
That's Dollman.
It's Dollman, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Dollman. Okay.
Of course, Dollman. You know Dollman.
Yeah, I do know Dollman. Yeah,
fantastic.
There's lots of memes of Dollman. Like we got those right when it came out. So I was thinking about this because 150 hours is a lot of games.
No. That is me
it's
maximizing.
Like 50.
Yes, I think if you mainline it, it's gonna be like a 40-hour game. But
also like you kind of want to vibe with it, right? Because
I'm part of it. I think that's part of the reason why I fell off of Expedition is because I couldn't vibe with it because I had so many people talking about it at the time. I'm like, y'all, my cynicism is just not letting me enjoy this game. I need to detach away from other people hype training this up.
I'm not. I hate it because if I say I really love something, it's like, oh, now I feel like I've set the expectation too high.
No,
for Tyler.
it wasn't you. It was the internet, man.
No,
It was the internet.
The internet is pretty
just
rabid.
To this, I know this is illogical, but if everybody in the world is loving something right now, I'm less likely to want to check it out.
So true.
Yeah.
Is like, I don't know. I don't want to experience the thing all the normies are experiencing.
That's how I get K-pop Demon Hunters. I was just like,
I guarantee if Willer had been the only person that talked about this game, and then I got on it the same week as him, we would have had a Returnal-like experience with it.
probably.
I hate you guys.
You guys, dude, don't hate me.
Why can't you guys just enjoy things? Fucking hipsters.
Dad.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, okay, you're all right. You're all right, son.
Yeah,
the same.
That's why you sit in the front with me. Those
Yeah.
those shits. But anyways, so I've got to a point. I'm putting the game down. However, eventually there's gonna be a director's cut update when the PC version comes out, and I want to play around with what they add. So I've left myself 200 missions that I haven't S ranked. There's some of them that I tried but failed. Some of them are really hard.
Dog,
hold on. Do not take this as like you have to do 200 missions. I left myself 200 missions to go do.
That's like I feel like that's saying you want to S rank every level in a Sonic the Hedgehog game.
Yeah. No,
okay.
you don't go. So when I said this is my favorite Kojima game, right? I compared the story, but what I forgot to say is that it's because it's that way because this is my favorite gameplay loop in any Kojima game. So that like gets the bar slightly above MGS 2 and 3 for me because this game is so fucking fun to play, and you throw on the music player and you ride on your coffin board. I have to share some vibey videos I caught on the Discord. I've been meaning to share, and my screenshots because they're gorgeous. Like this game will get you to use a photo mode because you will just be walking around, and it's just that pretty. Like you can't not do it. So, anyways, that is longer than I wanted to go. But yeah, one day we might know what Tyler's takes are. I'll put a gun to his face like Joe did.
If I ever do play it, it'll be a blood pact between us where you play Mass Effect.
No, actually, I will play Mass Effect. You guys owe me because I've won multiple Game of the Year guessing games, so I'm going to cash in this year. And now it's my turn to bring the guns, and you guys can't say anything about it because I have points on the board. Especially because...
I have denied things.
What?
Yeah, I won the first one we did our ranking for.
Yeah, and then I won like the last 3, and we did nothing with it. And you made me play 2 games, okay? I mean, yes, you blood packed.
I did it. I told you pick one.
Yeah, wait. I made me play 2 games. And that's your fault.
I like how Joe's experience for me was, you're going to play this game with me. I was like, all right, bet. Oh, no. I have to go play something I'm going to enjoy.
Yeah, no.
I know, and I keep trying to drag you. Come on, Tyler. Let's play a few more missions so you can experience it. Like, you literally see to play the next mission on the fucking, the operation stack, and you get one of my favorite missions, and you get to fight a fucking Tyrian Hive tyrant, which is
That does sound really cool. It's
really cool. Anyways,
okay,
let's stop complaining about debts.
Also, I mentioned Game of the Year. I'll throw this in there. We're considering a Media of the Year replacement or something to that effect where we go more wide and cover everything we talked about on the podcast. Now, the thing is, I would like comment feedback on this if anyone's listening to this. The problem is, no one actually comments on our Game of the Year talks. They get about the same amount of views as our podcast episodes and like 0 comments. Our podcast episodes do get a couple comments here and there. So it's like, I don't know if anyone actually cares. I know our friends actually watched that one, so that one's cool.
They comment like through our Discord. That's like really where our Game of the Year comments come from, I feel, sometimes.
Yeah, so it's like if anyone listening right now feels a certain way about us covering more than games at the end of the year, like let us know what you think of that idea. But I have a feeling this is going to turn into crickets and we won't hear anything.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, we're just going to have fun with it.
Anyways, I'm just throwing this in here. Okay, and then I finished Taskmaster. This is the best comedy show of all time.
You finished all of it.
I finished catching up to Taskmaster. I just couldn't stop this time. Last time I arbitrarily stopped myself like I did with Survivor not too long ago. And then when I start the second binge, I go all in. That is 19 series of Taskmaster. It's fucking delightful. Somewhere around series 5 to 7, I was like, this is the golden age. It'll be okay if things go down from here, right? And then season 10 happened. It was like the main COVID season. That one was generally the one season that's not very good. But then they get a second wind. And from like series 12 to 19, it's just banger after banger after banger for me, where every single series, and I was like going in there and ranking the contestants to be like, okay, which series has actually the better ones? And it just turned out that like all of them had like 4 out of 5 being A tier or plus for me, and I was like, oh, so we just don't miss anymore with the casting. Like every single series has a really good cast member or like a really good dynamic, and the tasks get better and the humor gets sharper. So yeah, they're like on a hot streak. Even like last season, there was a woman with cerebral palsy, and I was like, oh man, this might be a little hard to watch. I might just like feel sad the entire time. Like how's the humor gonna translate? And what I really like is that they did not treat her differently. Like they both cheered her up, but also like ragged on her and like punched sideways, not up or down. And I thought that was like really sweet. And she dropped some very funny bangers. Like she's very slow to speak, but it kind of builds up the anticipation to the punchline sometimes. So it works in its own way. And in the most recent season, Tyler, I don't know if you've watched much Taskmaster. I assume you did.
Yeah. I watched a good bit of Taskmaster.
I think you should watch Series 19 because I know you're a Jason Mantzoukas fan.
I have seen clips of it. I've seen quite a lot of clips of it. Yeah, it's very interesting to just see him be tame, because I know that I know he's acting, but like still everything the man is an insane. It's kind of like when you see Eric Andre in like public, you're like, oh, do the thing,
He's pretty chaotic on the show. Like maybe the clips you haven't seen it, but like he is just breaking shit for no reason. In fact, like he's actually not one of my favorite task members, especially when he's doing tasks. But he's really good on the studio because he's really funny at playing off of the other contestants and like getting everyone to laugh in the live studio segments. And he forms the most wholesome bond with like my second favorite task member of all time, Stevie Martin, and they are delightful. And they have like a peak cinema moment that I posted earlier that has a lot of build-up. But
Taskmaster is my favorite background show. Like, you know how like when we do Game of the Year or board games, sometimes it's like Seinfeld.
Yeah.
It's like Taskmaster's one of the top background shows.
It can be that for me now. Or go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's like that and Impractical Jokers.
I had to finish watching it for real at least one time before relegating it to that, and now it is squarely in that territory.
I always like it on my second monitor whenever I'm doing stuff on my desktop, because I still can like especially like if I'm playing like Total War, like Civ, because there are times where I'm just waiting for the game to load, and I'm just like,
for me, like the first watch of each series has to be for real. Bradley, have you ever seen this show?
No.
You haven't? Oh my god.
Bradley, it's all on YouTube for free. If you search up Taskmaster, like search up like Series 3 and just give that a go, and if you like it, go do the whole thing. Just throw it on. It is a show where comedians have to do like fun little tasks and be creative and riff off each other. I think the only people that don't like this show is if they take the scoring seriously, and I'm like, it's not that serious, bro.
You gotta be here for the fun.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Bradley, tell us about the Waitress musical.
Yes, because for me and Emmy's anniversary, we were like, I don't know, we don't just want to go out to dinner or something again. We wanted to do something different. So we were looking around in Austin, and the Zach Theater was doing this musical called Waitress, which we had never actually seen the musical, but we really liked the music from it. So we're like, okay.
You had heard the music before?
Yeah, we'd heard the music before, and it's really fucking good. So we're like, okay, time to see what the story going on with this music is. But when we were buying tickets, most of the tickets were like $40 or something. But we were like, you know what? Fuck it. It's our anniversary. We're going to ball out. were going to get the front row seats, which were like $100 something. So we ended up getting to the theater. And what we didn't realize when we bought our tickets is that the first 4 rows are like part of the musical. Because Waitress takes place inside of a diner. And so the first 4 rows are actually like sitting at tables in the diner on the stage, which was really cool, but it also really horrified me because I wasn't prepared for this. And I don't know, I get really nervous with people like looking at and staring at me. So when I sat in my seat and I had like 200 people staring my direction, I was like, holy shit. So the first like 30 minutes of the show were just me trying not to throw up.
Oh, seems like a great start.
After that, holy shit, it was an amazing show. We were actually so close. I wouldn't be exaggerating to say at one point the singers were like 2 feet away from us. Like we had to keep our feet under our table because if we stuck them out, the performers would have tripped. But they were so close, which made it really awesome. And the show itself was cool to finally get the story behind these songs I've always listened to. It was essentially like classic story of like hardworking lady has a piece of shit husband who's just like a deadbeat or whatever, and she ends up having an affair on him. She ends up having an affair, but then at the end of the story she doesn't end up with the other guy, but that's okay because it's like she learned to chase happiness, blah blah blah. So it was a really cool show. That was like, I didn't have a bunch of small stuff, like I don't really have other quickies, but that was like a really cool fun thing.
Nice. All right, then. Let's roll into our main roads. Tyler, you've been playing the Gundam TCG, it appears?
I dabbled a little bit in it. So the Gundam TCG came out recently.
Made by Bandai, who makes the One Piece
Made by
TCG.
Bandai. And dude, you know, Gundam, it has a really cool concept where, so it's going to play a lot like One Piece a little bit with their energy system. Maybe a little bit more like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering, because I think you only get like 1 or 2, and then you can gain some like alternative energies and then actually use them permanently. So like in the ramp deck wheeler, like you have an alternative energy source is your ramp, and then you can consume it, and then when you do, it's permanent.
Makes sense.
Until you gain another resource for that method. Y'all, this game focuses around playing out your Gundams and then applying pilots to them to boost them up. And you have like your your Magic the Gathering numbers are on this one. So you have like 7-4 and 6-3, and then you like swing into your enemy units and apply the math difference and everything, and you have instants and spells and shit. Yeah. This is not fun to me.
Really? I've heard.
Yeah.
I heard people really like this.
I don't like it at all, especially with like, I thought the base system was going to be a really cool concept. So like you have your life cards and those are like energy and everything. And what I hear a lot right now in the first set, because they only have like the first set that's come out and then the starter decks, you can resort to a lot of top decking if you play the game out and you're just like top decking for resources. And your shields or your life cards, neither player gets to draw those unless it's a trigger, or like otherwise, like you flip it up and then it just goes to the trash.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's not the comeback mechanic.
Every player is starved for fucking resources, and the life cards are trashed. And it's not the first TCG to do this. Like so many others have done this. What is Bandai Card Fight Vanguard does this too, where you take a hit point and then you flip the top life, and then it doesn't do anything unless it has a trigger, and then you trash it. And
isn't it crazy that in Pokemon you draw more cards when you hit people?
When you're doing better, it's crazy.
Insane.
Like, yeah. And I guess that's why a lot of people like Magic, is like nothing happens when you take life. Number just go down. Yu-Gi-Oh, same. Number just go down. Yeah. I don't like this. I think that's one of the reasons like I do like One Piece is that the life system and the triggers and everything are so like multi-directional and can swing the game. Like there are points where you never want to like start damaging your opponent because you don't want to give them more cards in hand or resources, and I like that strategical aspect of it.
And they're also very intuitive. Like it's very clean.
Yeah. So I was playing this on the tabletop simulator because there's quite a few mods for it that already exist. I wanted to try it out before I invested any money into it.
Well, you didn't tell me that. We should play that sometime because I have no interest in buying more cards. God forbid I spend more money. I'm on money crunch mode right now. But I am curious to see what this plays like, and there is no simulator, so.
The simulator's on.
Now, did you play with just starter decks? Because that might be contributing to why you didn't like it.
No.
Okay, you decked.
We played with starters and net decks.
Okay.
And I felt like I was starved for resources every time.
That's a problem then. Yeah.
It feels like there's, and it's probably going to get solved later on, but just like at the start of the game, Bandai typically does not let you, like, I haven't encountered any searchers in the game so far, so like there's not any.
No way.
At least in the net decks that came with the tabletop, it didn't have any. But it just feels one-dimensional. Even the starter decks don't come with searchers.
Interesting.
It feels like the very beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh! Honestly, with like an extra step or two, where you're just like, I play this number bigger, go in.
But surely that pilot system is dynamic enough to, I don't know. I need to try it out. I know Eggman really likes it, but I don't know a thing about this game really. I don't know any of the rules.
This is based purely on I read the rules. I had 3 or 4 net decks provided to me, and I played on the tabletop simulator.
See, but then we had One Piece starter decks and even read the rules slightly wrong, and we had a really good time. So I think
I had a fucking amazing time.
The simplicity really lends itself there. So maybe this is just a weirder game where like the interesting parts is not front loaded, but.
I even tried like the aggro variant. Like I've tried the ramp deck and the aggro deck. Because I thought maybe Tyler, like I was like, I have a very simple brain. Probably spamming a bunch of tokens is something I would enjoy. And I didn't even enjoy that. I don't know. Maybe One Piece has rotted my brain not to enjoy the strategic element of more Magic the Gathering type games. I just didn't enjoy this one at all.
Man, I've tried giving Magic the Gathering a try. Maybe it's because the tutorial of the mobile app is kind of ass and like too slow.
The most fun I've had in Magic the Gathering was doing drafting. And then you build a deck, and then I'm like, I don't want to play with this. I just wanted to draft the cards. That's like.
I think with Magic too is like, Magic can be very, very unforgiving, and so we were in a cold environment, like online. It's like you don't know what the fuck is happening. Whereas like if you're playing with someone, they'd be like, "Hey, don't do this because X, Y, and Z. You need this in mind."
Yeah, I've done that for sure.
In the rare instances where I can walk out of the house to go play One Piece and donate 2.5 to 3 hours of my life, Magic is always happening on the other tables, and they're also having a great time. But the room is just buzzing with positivity, so it's like...
The other thing that Magic has is Magic's in a really weird spot because they keep making product for standard environment, right? Which is like, hey, this is like the competitive section. This is the section that gets balanced with rotation and things that we keep in mind for like competitive operative play, right? But the thing is like that has like drastically fallen from the wayside now, and everyone plays Commander, which is like the casual 1v all 4-player format kind of a thing, where it's just like
Oh,
And-
it's 4-player.
Yeah.
They always sit pretty close together. That makes
Yes.
sense.
Yeah. So it's a free for all, and like so Star Wars TCG has the same thing called Twin Suns, where like you have a bigger deck. It's all one ofs, and you have to build it based off of like your commander, which is like a legendary like creature that you have that you can keep resummoning from the battlefield with a small tax every time it dies. So like what makes it fun is that everyone's playing with a jank deck. There's like very little consistency compared to like competitive stuff, and there's like a very much a diplomatic aspect of like, hey, we should just go kill that guy instead of don't fight me. I'm not doing anything. There's a fun like table talk back and forth that you can go around. It's a ton of fun. That's like the best way to experience Magic. It's also just so much more casual, and you're just kind of vibing, right? You're just playing a board game with friends. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because those formats are fun. I think y'all would enjoy them a little bit, but not that much.
You know what?
Maybe.
The thing is, haven't seen Magic cards with really good art, except those Final Fantasy cards. Those look beautiful.
I think there's some really good like alt arts that you probably aren't aware of.
Yes,
but
for
yeah,
sure, for sure.
But the Final Fantasy set is like heads and shoulders above like
Wait.
a lot of stuff.
But before anybody flames us for Willer's comment, Willer also doesn't like high fantasy because some of those older
True.
art cards are really nice.
True. And they're
Willer
like,
is just not a fan of high fantasy.
and they are
Yes.
generic high fantasy. So I'm like super on a like,
Dude, you say generic, but I'm like, that is
to be
that's
fair.
like where high fantasy comes from.
To be fair, saying generic on the template almost is not fair. So I do agree there.
Yeah.
You know, there is a Brando Sando card game coming out.
That should be interesting. And you know, Brando Sando, I feel like he wants to be a game designer a little bit. Like I feel like he wants to take a stab at it. So I'm curious to see.
He's like one bad day away from making a lit RPG.
I like how that's
Honestly,
bad. I like how that's
after
bad,
Dungeon
Ralph.
Crawler Carl has gotten so popular, I could see him being like, well, if they can do this, why can't I?
Holy shit.
Like
What's crazy is that like I can see this dark
Same.
future.
I can too.
man.
Fun fact: Brando Sando did work on a video game. He worked on a video game, Moonbreaker, which was done by the same people that did do Subnautica. It was a tabletop miniatures digital game where like
That is the
Sir,
most
that's
aggressively Brandon Sanderson name of all time, Moonbreaker.
no, that's a James Bond movie.
that's Moonraker.
What is this Discord audio? Because you said the same thing.
He said Moonraker?
Raker, as in with an R, versus Breaker with a B.
Who rakes
And an
the
R?
wood?
Okay, cool. So it was Discord audio cutting out. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
Classic. Joe, you are plugged in, yes? You don't sound...
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, it's me.
Okay, cool. All right, let's move on to Joe telling us about the Lone Star Open.
Yes. So Lone Star Open is part of the miniature wargaming competitive circuit. It's put on by Frontline Games, who put on the Las Vegas Open, which is the largest minigame tournament convention, I think, in the world. It's basically like the Evo of mini wargaming. And so I went to the Lone Star Open, which is their Texas-based event, of course, in Dallas. So my friends all went for 40K. I went for Marvel Crisis Protocol for two reasons. One, my orcs are really kind of out of favor currently in the 40K meta. They are sitting around at like a 33% win rate. And like the number one and two meta choices have just eat orcs for lunch. Like they are just hard counters to them. So it's just like I do not want to like muster up like a list that could fight that competitively because of money and painting purposes. And it just was like I didn't want to do it. The second one was that like I was hoping I could use LSO as a way to curb my Marvel Crisis Protocol obsession that I've been experiencing the past like 2 months. Like, hey, if I get a bunch of games out, I can be kind of a normal human being now. Spoiler alert, that did not happen, unfortunately. So, but on the quick 40K side, the other thing is my friends also went to the LSO. They've been really into the competitive scene. They've joined the local competitive team, the Forge Masters, here in Houston, Katy. They did very, very well. They all placed in the top 40 of the event out of 200.
Wow, that's really
not
cool.
bad, not bad.
Yeah, one of them got second place.
Whoa, you're
okay.
friends with cool people?
Yeah.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah. So very cool and exciting for them. This is their first like big event where they actually like participated as like members of the team. So they all had a really, really good showing. One of the rewards they give out is best in faction, which is like, hey, you're the best person in this faction, and like you place the highest. And my friend thought he didn't get it, so he left like early, and then they announced him, and he wasn't there to go on stage to claim his prize. Yeah.
Did he still did Joel give it to him, or like did they go to the next runner up?
No, they still gave it to him.
Oh, nice.
The other thing that happened here, I know this is not on me. I just want to get through the 4K stuff really quickly. There's a huge scandal going on with this event. The third place winner cheated. He brought an extra model to the game table where he was 130 points above the limit for your army.
And
That's
no one
like
caught him during?
No one caught him during.
Wow.
Yeah. And like part of that is like the big thing is like there are so many factions in the game, like you can't memorize every point value that there is. And what happened was he submitted a list, and the way he cheated is that he just brought like one extra model that you could potentially see being in the list with some points like adjustments. But like when you actually look at it and experience it, it was very egregious. The guy posted on Facebook saying like, "Oh my god, I feel so bad. I didn't realize I bought this extra model." Yada yada yada. There was a follow-up post by the judge crew saying like, "No, this was brought to our attention after your last game, and we investigated it, and then we told you this happened, and then you denied it."
Oh shit!
Yeah. So he lost his placing. They moved everyone up, and they gave the fourth place person the third place prizes and stuff like that.
So did your friend get first?
No, my friend got second, so he was above the third place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just been like very interesting to see. But like this was like very egregious. Like, oh my, like that's not something you do accidentally. You don't just accidentally bring an extra model to this tournament kind of a thing, right? Like you check your list every time. You know what your list is doing. You know what you're running. Like that's crazy. That's like bringing like 7 copies of Blackbeard in your One Piece deck, right?
Yeah. Which side tangent. I was taking apart my Odin deck the other day, which I only use for casual play or teaching other people how to play the game, and I had 5 Hody Jones in there.
Oh, that's evil!
Oopsie!
A
I
card
didn't
that
even
might
know I had a 5th Hody Jones. I don't know where it came from.
a card that might be banned in a couple days.
No, it doesn't. After Emo, it does not deserve it. All right, go on, Joe.
Anyways, so I played in the Marvel Crisis Protocol event. I unfortunately went 2 and 3 just to get that off the bat, but I had a really, really fun time. I ran my X-Men, and the purpose of this like roster is essentially Professor X has a leadership ability, which is whenever you use a superpower, which is an ability that's not an attack, you have to spin power. When anyone on your team spins a power, they can take one of the power they spent and give it to anyone else on your team. So it's a lot of just like power manipulation and like keeping everyone topped off. And we're playing a very objective based game, focus like list where it's like I'm going to run up and I'm going to take the objectives and I'm just going to play keep away for the entire time. I am very, very happy with how my list turned out. I lost 3 of the games, like I mentioned before. The first game I lost was against the Inhumans, which was my first game. I lost because of just a complete misplay on my part. I just like I overextended and I used the card that was there to save one of my models, and then I realized that he could immediately follow up with another card. I immediately scored him 2 victory points, and that won him the game. And I knew that card existed, and I just was like, fuck, that's my bad. I shouldn't have done that. The second game, I played against A-Force, which is led by She-Hulk, which is like an all-female Avengers team. The whole gimmick of this team is like basically like they have a bunch of like abilities that let them like put other models in front of each other. So like Okoye, for example, she can bodyguard for other models. So like none of your big models are. The idea being is none of your big models are getting attacked. Only the small models, and then the small models can power up your big models. This was a fairly new player that didn't really know how to use the list, so I kind of got off easy here, but still a very fun game.
Was this the 45-minute one?
No, it was not. Shockingly,
okay.
This one still went to time.
It
was
gets
a lot
worse.
of fun. Yeah. It was. This one was a lot of fun. It was very scary because like turn 2 happened and it was just like, all right, She-Hulk is at max power. And what the fuck? And like I had to deal with that monstrosity. But within these 2 games, I learned like a lot of great stuff. Like number 1, Professor X has an attack called Mental Suggestion, which costs the power, so you have to spend a little bit of your bar more or less, and you get to attack a model that's like range 3 away, which is like about 5 inches or so. But if you deal damage to them, you get to move the character equal to their speed. And I don't know why I haven't been doing it before, but it just like unlocked my brain of like, oh, I should move Professor X last because that model is already gone, and I get to move him and off the point and claim the point. So Professor X and the Hulk just like duked it out with each other, where the Hulk would walk up, punch him once, and Professor X was like, all right, leave. And he would just keep sending him back over and over again until he finally died. It was really, really fun. The other thing is that people do not know how to handle Iceman. Iceman is weirdly very fast, but also he has this thing where he has an aura where if you in an action within his aura, you get the slow condition, which means you move slow, you move the slowest speed you possibly can go in the game. And if you already have slow, you take a damage. And you just put him in places where people want to be, and suddenly they're like, I don't want to be there no more. And they just don't know how to... He's like very squishy, but they don't want to commit the actions to try to kill him. They'd rather be doing something else out. I learned a lot of like power manipulation, like how to feed him power, when to use his power and stuff, which was really, really cool.
Is this because Iceman is like a non-meta pick, or you're just playing him really well?
He's a non-meta pick. A lot of people don't think Iceman is very, very good. I have found him very successful. I think it's because a lot of people look at power where people aren't really looking. He's also like a really good tech choice. Because like, for example, in my 4th game, which is the game that I finished in 45 minutes, it was against Spider People, the Web Warriors, I should say. And all the Web Warriors have like medium to long moves. So they move very, very fast. But for Iceman, I don't need to do any damage to you. I just need to slow your ass. And they go from like moving the fastest models in the game to the slowest models in the game.
Oof.
So it's like, it just like hard counters them if they don't know how to deal with them. And so like, I just ran around and like Black Cat's frozen, Ghost Spider's frozen, Miles is frozen. Abomination, I don't know why you're here, but you're frozen as well. So they're just like stuck and they can't move, and because of that, I'm able to like just move around the map much more effectively than they can.
That's an Omega level mutant, baby. You can't
It's
be
true.
helped.
He's so Omega, he only costs 3 points.
Wowzers.
Yeah, very, very. But that's the 4th game. I finished that game in like 45 minutes. I felt really bad for the guy because like he did have some poor rolling, but I think also he overextended Abomination, and he really needed him just to like kind of sit in the middle and like attack. And he kept coming after Professor X. I'm like, I don't give a shit about you coming after Professor X. All the other dudes have the objectives. Like, I don't care. And I think he thought I was trying to go and kill him when I was just going to try to outscore him. The 3rd game I played against was against Asgard, and this game was a huge fucking asterisk on it. I lost this game by 1 point. This game is by a guy that used to live down here in Houston that we played all the time. He's a known fucking cheater and douche. Like, he will just lie about his rules constantly. And I hadn't seen him in 2 years, and I ran into him at the event right before I go, and I was talking to him. I was like, oh, he seems pretty chilled out, yada yada. We start playing, and he attacks Professor X, and Professor X has this ability where, like, if you attack him and you don't spend power, he gets to use his, like, mental defense, because he's, like, using his brain to, like, lock you down. So he doesn't do that, and he gets, like, 6 die defense when, like, a normal attack is, like, 4 or 5, and a normal defense is, like, 3. So we roll dice, I look over and get my dice to pull over, and I look over, and he just has, like, 12 hits, which is double the amount of possible defense I could have, which is just, like, okay, that's a little weird. I'll take a spike. It happening once a game is fine. It did happen for the next 3 or 4 attacks, and at that point, I was like, I am done. Like moving, like just pretty much like even taking my eyes off of him dice wise. And he started like trying to cover his dice with his hand and all this other bullshit. And like, I could never like get hard evidence. Yeah, I could never get hard evidence on him like doing shit. And so we finished the game. I lost by 1 goddamn point. I was like, I'm so fucking mad. I talked to the judge the next day. And I was like, hey, here's the problem. And the judge also said, like, I've also had another player report stuff about him as well.
Ooh.
Yeah. So he started watching him. And lo and behold, when he had a judge watching him, he started to lose very badly. So that was interesting.
If you play against him next time, you should actively record. Like, just set your phone on the table, like, face out. So, like, it's, like, secret recording.
Yeah. I have thought about that for like people like this, but
just be like, hey, can I stream this to my YouTube?
No. Don't let him know, because then he's not going to do it, because he's just going to start losing really bad.
Which is fine. I'll win. Like,
yeah, I know, but the goal is to get the guy banned from the game, because like cheaters get banned.
Yeah. But yeah, Asgard's a really attrition-based team, and that's a team where like I have to play as optimally as I can to like beat them, because I just can't afford Maul's dying, and he just fucking like turned to like 2-tapped like 2 Mauls. I'm like, okay, this is something's up here. So that has an asterisk. So I'm kind of whatever about it now. Game 4 mentioned Web Warriors, really fun but really really short. Last game was against Cabal. I should have won this game, and I had a huge misplay at the very end here, where I just kind of did it. So like, every character has like a basic attack, and they have like their spender. It's like basically like their big attack they get to do. And I brought Cable this game, and Cable was doing really good work. But we got to a point where like, I in my head had realized that my opponent was going to like was in a really good spot, but my opponent hadn't realized it yet. And Cable was down to like 2 life left, and Cable had enough to do with spender, which is really expensive, and would hit like the 2 Mauls I needed to hit. The only issue is that every time I've used this spender ever, it has just done fucking nothing. And I just disregarded it and did something else entirely. And we were walking it back, and I realized if I did use the spender, it at minimum would have healed Cable back up, and probably would have knocked one of those characters out, and had the other one be so close to being knocked out that he would have to do something about it. That wasn't like stay there and attacking Cable, and I could have finished him off with someone else. And I lost that one by 1 point, which is really sad. But I had a lot of fun. It was a great time, and I've got some great models painted. And what was the other thing about this event was I did have to have everyone painted, which was super convenient. So
how long until you have 2 teams, Joe, and you bring this up to me and I can just play it with you?
So I'm going to finish up my X-Men team and I only have Cable left. I am very, very excited to paint Cable. In fact, Cable's so cool in this game. Like, he's got a fucking huge ass stat sheet, and he has got a gun, and he just picks up buildings and throws them at people. He is like the most Joe Core character because he's so solid B tier that I'm just going to make anything work for him as much as I can. So I'm going to paint him up, and then I'm going to get back to painting the core set. And the core set's really, really good. I've gotten down to like teaching the core set to players now over at a game store. Mm-hmm. So once I get that painted, it'll all look great. And it's got terrain too, so I'm going to get all the terrain painted up and everything. And once that gets all done, we can... I'll bring it up to play. I hope I can get done by December when we all meet up again, and we can find time to do it then.
Y'all, there's not enough big game tournaments in Austin, Texas. I want to say that.
It is weird. I feel like Dallas and Houston are way nerdier cities, and all you guys have are like good hiking spots.
The reason that is because the Austin airport is not as easily to get to as like the Dallas and Houston airport.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but like... Come on, that's like saying,
Tyler, you have to think about this. People are bringing thousands of dollars of miniatures.
Joe. That's you're saying, oh yeah, 2 of the largest metroplexes in the entire world have bigger airports than the one in the much cooler city.
But the other thing to worry about, Tyler, is that their shit's going to get lost or stolen at the airport. And if you go to 2 airports, that increases that chance. Or it breaks, which is the worst, which is even worse.
Yeah, also we don't have a convention center here. There's a documentary about that.
Okay. Well, you should have led with that.
No. We used to. There used to be an Austin Convention Center, and it used to have a very good public they finished the public transit line into downtown Austin, which is the red line, the train. Yeah. There's lots of places to stay along that route, and there's lots of cool stops along it. For like visitors that came by. There's the soccer field. There's like Little Koreatown. There's like all these cool places that you could stop and like go along the train. And then they started this like 1.5 billion whole sink into the Austin Convention Center. Like the Austin Convention Center was fine. It was a good convention center. There's a documentary about it. I won't go into it, but it's called The Hole, and it's about how like most Austinites who have been here for 30 plus years, they're like, this is the fucking biggest waste of egregious money and funds you could have ever spent on the city.
So it's just not finished, or did they close it?
It's taken like over a decade for this renovation. Like they essentially tore down the convention center to build a new one, and it was a perfectly fine convention center. And like conventions don't even happen anymore post-pandemic. Like they built it as like a business-oriented convention center, and it's like those just don't happen anymore. So like you have Houston, which has George R. Brown, and Dallas, which has that huge convention center. You have the e-gaming center, and it's like you should have just taken that 1.5 billion and built so many other tourist attractions around Austin that would want to drive people to the city and leave the convention center as is, because it was perfectly fine.
Okay.
Damn. That smells like money laundering.
As a side tangent, I typed in the magic hole, which was already like bad. I typed in magic hole Austin, which still is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's off a metric.
Yeah. So Google has a shitty AI overview, and it actually brought up the correct thing of like a documentary, short film, yada yada.
Yeah.
And then it was like, here's a brief video, the overview of the documentary of the magic hole. It's a clip to Critical Role for whatever reason.
Weird.
Which I know. Damn. But yeah. I don't know. Tell them to fix their fucking convention center and the airport, because the airport sucks.
They have a great airport.
Yeah.
Dude, no. So they got rid of every fast food location inside of the Austin airport, and the only places you can eat at inside the Austin airport are local Austin chains.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's kind of cool until you like really need a quick Starbucks or something, or like a McDonald's.
No, they have coffee and stuff in there.
Okay. As long as they have like some fast food for the people who are moving fast.
They have fast food options for sure. The only problem is everything is still $20.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
But yeah, that was my time at Lone Star Open. It was very fun. I actually think I'm going to go to Warzone Houston, which will be in the first weekend of September, and we'll see how that goes.
Oh, that's
Joe,
right around the corner.
this entire conversation made me realize.
Yeah.
Did you fly to Dallas?
No, I drove.
Okay, thank God, because I know you were a Houston to Dallas frequenter on flying.
Yes.
But I was like, you would have had to pay for carry-on for your little guys.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to do that.
Okay. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Joe. You're growing up.
So my friends stayed at the hotel that the convention center was attached to. And this is why fucking no one wants to travel anymore. They get there and it costs $15 a night to park their goddamn cars at the hotel.
Yep. It's
like, you can't give them complimentary parking for staying at the place to go to the event that you're hosting? Like, what the fuck? And then I drive up to go park, and it's $10. So I'm like, this is even more fucked up. It costs less for me. I'm driving.
Yeah. No, it's every time I go play in One Piece events, like, it's fucked up because, like, you have to pay for hotels, you have to pay for parking, you have to pay for food. It's just, like, an entire money sink the time you're there. You can't just pay for a ticket and enjoy the experience because everything surrounding it has been privatized and corporatized. It's like the parking lot is owned by a company, the vendor stall is owned by a company, and nothing is owned by the people who own the fucking building.
You need to have a strategic Austin in every city
True.
Austin the person in every city where you could go bum there. And that's
Yeah.
the only way. And even then, you still have to pay for parking.
I'm here in Houston. I got 2 guest beds, so
Lovely.
Yeah.
We get to sleep in the cupboard that Joe lived for like 3 years.
no, you get to sleep in a nicer room.
Yeah.
My cupboard is my desk office.
Which
area.
convention center was it at, Joe?
It was at the Marriott in Allen.
Oh, I think I know that one actually. Yeah, no, there's a One Piece tournament they've had there.
Yeah, it was actually very nice. It was right across the street from like a good like shopping area as well that we.
Yeah, I like that one. It's because it's not as difficult to get to, I guess.
Yeah, it's very
Wait,
easy.
you had to pay for parking at the fucking hotel?
It was at the convention center technically, but yes, it's fucking dumb, dude. It's so. I feel like I should have just parked at the fucking shopping district across the street and walked. Honestly,
yeah, no, seriously, there's so much parking there.
Yeah. Anyways, that slows are open. It was very fun. I'll coerce one of you to play Marvel with me soon.
I'll play with you, dog.
I know.
There you go. I know. Okay. I watched the Netflix show Beef.
Yeah.
I highly recommend this show. It is fan-fucking-tastic. It is a show that stars Stephen Young, who is Invisible voice actor, Glenn from The Walking Dead, prolific Korean-American actor. And, well, fuck, I don't know the actress's name, but she's also a Korean-American actress, and they are the 2 leads.
Ali Wong.
Ali Wong. She's Amy and he's Danny, so I will just refer to them by their characters.
Yes.
And the show kind of opens with them at a parking lot, and they get into a road rage incident that just escalates, and they like drive around town, and people get footage of this, and it's just one of those like people could have gotten hurt. This was really bad. What are you guys doing? And that incident spirals into a long-term beef between the two where there is just this vendetta and feud where they keep trying to get back at each other, and it's very interesting because they use the feud as a way to vent out frustrations of their own lives, and the show basically follows both the leads and builds up on like their upbringing and what their current life is and the source of that frustration that they feel. And it's a very relatable show because the things that tick these people off, apparently they're like really resonant with Korean Americans. But even if you're not a Korean American like myself, you can get a lot of relatability from, just the friction of life. Like this show portrays the friction of being an adult so well, and that bubbling frustration that is a ticking time bomb inside all of us that we try to do anything to contain. And that is the core of this show, is that building of the friction between them. And like it's one of those shows where everyone's an asshole and create their own issues a little bit, but I think it has the nuance to make the characters likable, though one of the leads does something truly unforgivable at some point near the end, and that was hard. That was very hard to sit through. Like for example, the main character, the main male lead's main flaw is that he has the classic anti-hero inability to take responsibility kind of flaw, and then for Amy, it's like she is crushed under the weight of her own success and, being a successful mother and wife and trying to close that deal and all the work that she has to put in to maintain her wealth and her well-being, while Danny is the other side of the pond where he's trying to hustle to get money. And it's just the dynamic between the two is really good, and the way that they intertwine gets really interesting, and just the progression of this beef and the heights that it reaches just like starts making your stomach churn, and you kind of have to keep up with it because it moves pretty fast. And yeah, the escalation's insane, but what I will say is it's a great show, fantastic the whole way through, and then the final episode is the best by like a good amount. So it really makes it an amazing show by the end because it ends on a really strong point. And it's only 10 episodes, It's only one season. I think there's going to be a season 2, but it's going to be an anthology. So season 2 will follow another feud, but between new characters that we don't know. I think is what they've said.
Okay.
Which is
Interesting.
yeah, like the way that this season ends, it's like I could get more from these characters, but also like it ends in a way where I could also like just accept where they are.
Yeah, that's also like a pretty good framework of like just an ongoing TV show. Like you just get to, like I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. I'm not looking at anything at the descriptions of stuff.
Yeah.
But like season 2, they have like Oscar Isaac cast.
Oh
it's like,
shit! He would be so good at this or good in this because the writing's really sharp, the directing's really good. This show is fan fucking tastic. It's one of the best shows I've seen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I really recommend it to everyone. I think who would like it best?
I'm already watching the other beef show.
What other beef show?
The Bear.
Ah, true. Hey, you didn't give us a Bear update. I actually was kind of curious what.
We haven't watched it in a while. We started Shippuden. We watched a lot really quick, and then I was just like,
Shippuden is better than beef, or sorry, better than the Bear. I don't know if it's better than beef.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah. Okay. And that's the Bear. It's really really good. Someone go watch it so we can talk about it.
I booted up Netflix just to see if I can get added onto my like
ad list.
My watch. Yeah, and my brother will change our profile pictures from time to time, and this is what he changed them to.
Opening it up, it is everyone is K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yo,
but
Tommy's based.
But then Joe's dad is who? Who is this?
I don't know.
Some like intense looking white antagonist guy is what I have to guess.
I just like that I'm the main guy and Tommy's abs.
Tommy wishes he was abs so bad you can just tell.
Tommy's based.
Sure.
It's really
Join your brother, Joe. He's reading One Piece for you. Watch K-pop Demon Hunters for him.
Watch K-pop Demon Hunters. We're talking about the podcast.
Yeah. He's just not a stan, you know.
Yeah. I get it. It's good, but you know what? It's fine.
Oh, speaking of K-pop Demon Hunters, since we bring it up, their song "Golden" has reached #1 on the Billboard top charts this past week.
It's actually kind of crazy.
Pretty fucking nuts.
Not only is that #1, but like Your Idol is like number 8 or 9, and they have like 4 others, like 3 or 4 of the songs from the show are all in like the top 50.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I also read an interesting tidbit. Sony only made $20 million from that movie. Apparently, it cost $100 million to make, which is like that.
That's actually pretty not bad.
No, but why would you sell it for 20 mil if you? I guess they just could not.
They did not because they don't fuck. Hollywood doesn't believe in original ideas anymore.
No, they don't. Right
after the collapse of the fucking DVD market, they're so afraid to try anything new.
No, yes, for sure, but also like. They sold it for a fifth. Like, I guess they just could not get anyone to buy it, and they had to settle for 20 mil at Netflix. Anyways, I have a feeling they're gonna change the way they approach K-pop Demon Hunters 2 as far as the pay structure for the executives because they got robbed. Classic Sony fumble of the modern era. But so it goes. Speaking of Koreans, Bradley, we finished Squid Games.
Oh, we did.
We did.
It kind of finished itself off.
You know what? Apt.
Yeah.
Finished itself off.
So here's like, I don't think I ever talked about season 2, but I think we did. I think there was a talk about it on here.
I talked about it.
I really love season 1. Season 1 is my favorite. I didn't dislike season 2 though. I didn't like it as much as 1, but I still really liked it to the point where like I could not wait for season 3 to come out. This season was booty. Like I almost fell asleep during one of the episodes. I don't know. What was your general feel of the season?
I don't think it was booty, but it was definitely the weakest season. It was teetering on bad, but I wouldn't say it was booty. You know, there's levels to this because it still has some core theses, and the weakest point of the season is the same weak point that every fucking season has had. The plot line with the detective brother is
Yes.
so bad every fucking time. I started. You know what, Bradley? You know why I like this season? I just fast forward through a lot of those scenes, man. I'm just hitting the next button because it's a waste of fucking time.
Yeah, so like we finally got the conclusion, if you want to call it that, to this plot line that's been going on since the first season with this, in the first season, this cop is just trying to figure out what's going on with the islands, and he sees his brother get shot. And so obviously season 2, he's joined this task force trying to find the islands and track them down. And so in season 3, it feels... I think one gripe I have with Squid Game in general is not just for the cop, but I feel like for a lot of the characters, their plot lines and goals ultimately didn't feel like they went anywhere. Because like, for the cop character, I don't know, he's with this crew for 2 whole seasons trying to find the island, and then the whole crew dies anyway. And it's like, okay, well, he gets on the island, but even then, he doesn't accomplish anything on the island. And then, like, talking about goals not getting accomplished necessarily, I think one thing that really took me out of this season was Gi-hoon, the main character. He has such a different personality in season 2 and 3 than he does in 1, for very obvious reasons. He's been through all this traumatic shit. And then, so you come into season 2 and he has this very different, darker personality, and it's because he's on this revenge mission, right? Which... there's kind of a trade-off there where his personality is just so much less entertaining when he's brooding and not saying anything all the time. So I'm like, if we're gonna give him this just much less entertaining personality for the viewer to watch, then I want his revenge quest to go somewhere. But it didn't. He kind of failed at every objective he ever had, and the villains kind of rode away into the sunset. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it very much becomes a moral debate between him and the frontman. And I thought, like, so overall, season 2 is actually my favorite by quite a bit, because I didn't like season 1 that much, and I don't like this season very much either. Season 1's better than this one, though. But for me, what made season 2 so good is that the character dynamics were way more interesting. For example, like, in season 1, they will emotionally manipulate you with, like, the old man and Ollie, who's the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. And when I say that, people get sad because, oh, he was so kind. You're in a death game, you fucking idiot! I felt nothing for that character because he's too stupid to live. Anyways.
He never played Danganronpa. He didn't know how it worked.
Oh, he's seen people get shot. He literally did the game where you pull people, tug a rope, and killed like a group. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll trust everybody. Fuck you, Ollie. Anyways, there's a lot of like, just like
it seems
sort of like weak plot lines and character dynamics. Now, season 1 does have Gi-hoon and his friend. From that season, who is a very interesting character. But I think season 2 had a lot more interesting dynamics between all the characters, and like even the side characters have interesting sub dynamics that were really good.
And you mentioned the frontman, because the frontman's pretty prominent in season 2.
Yeah.
And he's something I really liked because I feel like not all the bad guys necessarily have the same outlook on what they're doing here. Like the rich fucks who just come to watch the games, they are just like as deplorable as you can possibly get. The frontman, I feel like, actually believes his message.
Yes.
I feel like he is the guy that when he says, no, we are giving you all a fair second chance at life. Everyone here chose to be here. We are giving you a second chance at life you would never otherwise have. I feel like he genuinely believes that message, which is why it's entertaining when he joins the games in season 2, because I feel like his objective there was to talk to Gi-hoon and just genuinely try to understand like why did you come back? Why are you so against this? Because I feel like the front man has that conviction.
And
but
to me, go ahead.
I was gonna say that actually brought season 3 down for me more, where I felt like the front man always did kind of have that conviction on that everyone who is competing here is doing so because they chose to do so. It's this fair competition between everybody, which is why when we introduce the baby in
The
season 3,
baby!
I get so pissed off because I feel like this game, as fucked up as it is, has its own rules. I feel like they just kind of throw all of that away in order to be as terrible as possible.
Okay, I gotta say, I don't agree, actually. First of
okay.
all,
Save
I
it
don't...
for me. Save it.
I won't. The baby is a very interesting plot line. We'll talk about that in a second. I don't agree on your outlook of the front man. You're almost romanticizing him a little bit.
I might be. Maybe I don't get what's going on in his head.
Because he's a handsome man with a sharp face, and you know, he's very charming, and I really like his. The times he seems friendly are very enticing. I don't believe that he believes in the people at all, or believes that it's a fair game. As I recall, when he's in the limousine talking to Ji-hoon the first time in season 2, he mentions something to the effect of like, these people are trash and they don't deserve, like, to me his whole thing is like, he's cleaning up the trash and these people deserve what they get, and he tries to prove it every step of the way by introducing the voting system and the democracy that comes with it, and constantly showing Ji-hoon that these people will choose to risk more lives than to save themselves and get out of the situation. That he proves to Ji-hoon himself that Ji-hoon is willing to sacrifice lives to further his goals in the raid, in the night raid, and then he does it again in the season finale, like, shootout raid. Like, he constantly proves that there is no hope for humanity, and these games are fair in so much that it is a moral, like, judgment of morality, and a, like, how do I say it? It's like casting judgment on these people that are the dregs of society, and they deserve everything they get, and they are willing to put themselves through these situations. And I don't agree that the games ever had fair rules to begin with. There's, in so many ways, that the games are unfair. There's nothing noble about them whatsoever. Like, introducing the baby and putting it as a player does not go against any of the unfairness that the games have been up to this point, because the game itself is this system in which it forces you to be in it, and then they get the worst kinds of people, so that way even if you want to get out, you can't, because they very carefully select the players to be the kinds of people that will just dive deeper and deeper, all these kaiji motherfuckers that are willing to put themselves through this. And it's like very self-serving. Like, they get these people that are desperate to prove that people are bad by putting them through these scenarios. So ultimately, the baby kind of fits as just another unfair thing. Because if you look at, like, the games in season 1 especially, that Glass Bridge game is just bullshit. That's just... There is no technique. There is no, like, it's pure luck. Just go die and have fun. Like... So all to say that I think at every point, Inho, I believe is the front man's name, he was consistent in trying to prove his point, and his point is a lot more negative than I think you portray it, which makes Ji-hoon's, like, final interaction with him, if you can call it an interaction, it makes it hit a little bit better, because I think, like, his point is more interestingly made in how he makes it. But yeah, it doesn't make season 3 necessarily good, but I do think it's consistent in the messaging, at least.
No, you know what? I think that's a valid take. And as you were kind of describing how you felt about the front man, I had that same thought where I was like, you know what? All of this does make Ji-hoon's final, like, words to the front man much more impactful, where he's like, we are human beings. It's kind of him responding to a question that wasn't asked to him. It's kind of him that's his debate to the front man's whole philosophy of,
and it works a little bit.
Yeah,
to a certain degree.
It's because, you know, if the front man's whole deal is like these people are the trash of society, to him, when Ji-hoon came back, it was probably just this befuddlement of, number one, it's like, you don't have to be the trash anymore, but also it's like, why are you trying to save these people? He's like, you've been in this game.
Exactly.
You've seen what these types of people are capable of. Why would you want to save them? And I think that's the question that he's posing in his brain to Ji-hoon without ever actually asking. And then so now Ji-hoon's response at the end, where he just says, "We are human beings staring up at the booth." I'm like, you know what? Okay, that does make that hit a little better.
And again, the baby is just another thing to push Ji-hoon, and he gives him the knife. It's like, just go kill them. Like, and man, I wish we got a bigger flashback of the Frontman's games, because we got one little bit, and I would have been very interested to see his progression. Fuck, they might make a side series for that. We'll get to side series later. But yeah, like, the main problem with season 3 is Ji-hoon is too stoic. He's just like, people are saying things to him, and he could be saying things to diffuse the situation, but instead he just growls or glowers at them. Like, he just looks angry and intense.
30% of the runtime is just him looking at the floor, looking mad.
it's significant, especially that first episode. And then, like, the way the last game plays out is just, like, not super interesting for the concept
I almost
that it
fell
is.
asleep during that. Because here's the thing, season 2 and 3, I feel like in general had way cooler games than the first season to me.
Dude, hide and seek was insane.
Hide and seek was nuts, but the very last Squid Game was so boring to me. Because it's like, we're going to stand on this platform, we're going to talk about who to push for 20 minutes, we're going to go to the next platform, talk about who to push for 20 minutes. I'm like, there's no game.
And, like, in a way, it's interesting that it's a lot of debating. It's a lot of, like, trying to trick each other. Justifications for their actions. It's crazy how fast everyone turns on that baby. But, you know, at this point, whatever, man. These O voters are clearly not sane. But, like, on paper, it could be a cool idea, but, like, just the way that they argued and then the way that fought back and forth. And that first guy that died in that game, that's such a weenie character with, like, a storyline. It's probably the weakest storyline of the show, of that 2 seasons at least. And, man, I gotta say, they kind of character assassinated MG Coin a little bit.
Fuck, dude. He was, because he was almost a good character. He was. I feel like there was a lot of internal strife going on where he was. I felt like he was trying to convince himself he did not care about his baby.
Yeah.
And we kind of get that point during the final game where it felt like he came around, and then it's like after that he just turned into a completely different character played by the same actor.
And that's the whole time I'm like, okay, he's playing the long game. He's trying to protect the baby. There's no way that he just became this one-dimensional. But man, he was on track to be like the most interesting character of maybe the show. Like, I actually really liked his dynamic with the baby mama and his descent into madness a little bit in hide and seek.
That's the thing. Before they went into the hide and seek game, he was trying to figure out the strategy to do with the baby mama. He's like, he even offered at one point, he's like, I'll give you the knife. I will just come find you during the game. You kill me, and you and the baby can live. So I'm like, where did that guy go?
Yeah, he just killed one too many blues and just became a different man. It was kind of disappointing. He was a really interesting character before that. What else happened? Yeah, like, Ji-hoon is just a fucking idiot at the end of the day. But, you know, that is the character, and I think it's consistent because he's also a little bit dumb in season 1, too.
Yeah.
And his revenge quest was doomed to fail to begin with. Like, okay, maybe you stop this iteration of the games. I'm pretty sure you know that there's other iterations. You have to know. And okay, let's talk about the VIPs, right? They had to come back. I think, like, pretending they don't exist would have felt a little weird, considering, you know, that they are as prominent as they are. Did you have to give them that many lines? Like, did they have to speak that much? You know, people already don't like them, right? So to double down and give them even more dialogue than they had the first time, it feels like that just doesn't feel like the right decision to go.
And I'm wondering what's going on here, because, like, part of me is like, if you're behind the production of this show and you're going to have characters in the show that obviously are not Korean. Like they look like Americans speaking American English.
They are, yeah.
And so I don't know. You could get like someone who speaks English in a way that sounds like English. I guess I don't
So-
like.
So no, I promise you they can speak normal English and speak well, but they were
Are they just
directed.
enunciating harder
Yeah,
for their audience?
they were directed to enunciate in a weird way that I think Koreans that somewhat know English would be able to easily pick up on what they're saying.
Okay, I think that was probably the case where but I don't know. I imagine that average Korean population has like some familiarity with English, even if
Yeah.
it's not their first language. So I guess they're just instructed to like speak it in a way that someone who it's not their first language would get all the information.
Yeah, but that's Squid Games, and it ends with a stinger for Squid Games USA, with Kate Blanchett as the recruiter guy. Man, the
This
recruiter guy
American
was really good
spin-off,
season.
No, I just have no hope for this American spinoff. I don't.
It's
I don't foresee
directed
a lot
by
of good-
David Fincher, who's a really good director, I will say. The thing is, right, okay. Everyone's up, like, yeah, okay. Ever since season 2 happened, clearly the show is trying to make some money and, kind of going against the themes of the show a little bit by chasing that bag. But you know what? I respect it in its own way. You gotta get cash. I will check out the American season because I think there is a world in where the writing is consistently tighter than all 3 of the Korean seasons. The thing is, the acting, for the most part, was really good in all these seasons. Shout out to Thanos, especially. What a good actor. He's actually just a rapper, apparently. Like, I don't know if he's done much acting before, but I thought he was really good in the show.
And that's the Titan?
Yeah, he's in this.
Okay, cool. Didn't know he came back.
Yeah. I'm gonna wipe out half of humanity, he says in a Korean accent. And I'm not even lying. That's a thing that happens. You should check out season 2 of Squid Games. Anyways, Bradley, any closing thoughts on Squid Games 3? Wait, I have one more.
Yeah.
She should have left the baby in the room. What are your thoughts on that before going into the jump rope game?
Oh, wait, like left it in like their waiting room?
Yeah, like at best, the baby's gonna be alone for 30 minutes to an hour, which is like, okay, it's way less likely to die in that 30 minutes to an hour than you taking it into a death game.
I feel like if she did that, then the guards would have just done their whole, like, all of the players must proceed to the game, and then they're like, what are you talking about? This is a baby, and then they're just like, all players must proceed to the game.
So, the baby was not a player until the VIPs decided it should be one during jump rope, because it would be harder on Ji-hoon.
You're right, they didn't decide until during that game, so I don't know, maybe she could have just left it behind.
And as a result, maybe Ji-hoon would have been able to help her out. I mean, she was probably cooked, but that was another good game. The fucking twist at the end of the first episode of Jump Rope, where the guy's like, "I'm playing the game." I was like, that was a really good stinger.
Oh, that fucking asshole!
Y'all, I want there to be a show that's like kind of weird, like Squid Games, and because y'all keep saying the baby, and I'm like, what if they had like, what's
Baby Squid Games.
A short person playing like the baby or like children, but then the plot twist at the end is that the short people reveal themselves that they were not babies but fully grown adults, like scheming the whole time to make money off of this by pretending to be kids.
That's the sci-fi of Zootopia.
What are you talking about?
Yes, Joe, that.
It is? Anyways. Never let him cook again. Do you want me to spoil you what the situation with this baby is?
Is it? I mean, I don't care. I'm never going to watch Squid Games.
So, one of the contestants in season 2 is pregnant. And her baby daddy is also there. The baby daddy, we call him MG Coin because he was a Bitcoin grifter who gave a lot of advice to people, the coin shortage, and he's broke. People that were involved with him are broke, and they're mad at him. It's actually, like, very well done and very topical. Anyway, she gives birth, in the middle of the most intense game of the series in season 3, and now the baby's part of the game. She's very protective over it. She takes it into one of the death games because she doesn't want to leave it alone. That's what I was saying. Honestly, she should have just left it in the room. You would have a higher chance of both of you living if you did that, but I digress. She dies in that game because she also got a really bad ankle sprain in the previous game, so she's cooked. It's a jump rope game, so they have to cross a beam that's like doing jump rope loops. And
I've played Mario Party.
Yeah, and then you die though, so it's a little different.
Yeah, I played Mario Party.
And
yeah,
anyways,
I played Mario Party.
After she dies, Jihoon, the main character, takes over as watching the baby. MG Coin goes full deadbeat dad mode, and the baby becomes a player. They force him to become a player as a way to torture Jihoon, and it is a weird-ass plotline. It's a plotline that's completely centralizing to the rest of that season, because it's the main thing that's happening, is the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the baby.
And people watch this over Kaiji, you know?
Well, they don't know Kaiji exists, and also Kaiji's not available anywhere above 480p.
Yeah.
It was never filmed above 480p.
Yeah, well,
that's native resolution, dog.
It's bad.
They could unnative it.
They could.
Okay.
Yeah, that's also Wednesday season came out after like 3 years, so I'm gonna watch that maybe tonight as I work on.
I started watching that actually. I've been watching it over Kelly's shoulder, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I was saying something about it, and I've never seen it, nor did I watch season 1. I was like, yeah, this is very Tim Burton. I was like, that's the Tim Burton suit right there. And she's like, yeah, you guessed it right. That's Tim Burton. I was like, what is, like, everything he makes, like, what's up with Tim Burton in vertical striped suits?
He likes that, man.
I mean, it's very visually striking. He doesn't work on every episode, as I recall, but he does direct some of them. You should watch Wednesday season 1. Is pretty cute. Like, it's a fun time. I like it.
I feel weird about that show. It's like
yeah, Jenna Ortega is hot. We can just say it's fine.
Yeah.
Can we? Is that legal?
Yes. No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But
it's illegal.
But are you sure? I don't know. That's weird.
No, man, just full throat it.
No, it's fine.
I was telling Kelly I like the Addams Family. I like how historically the Addams Family is like a goth Hispanic family.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's like my favorite thing ever. Because it was Antonio Banderas at one point, right, Joe?
I believe
was the dad in one of the older movies?
He might have been. I thought it was Paul. What's his name? Hold on.
Giamatti. No.
Yeah.
No, but Tyler, go ahead. Say Jenna Ortega's hot. We're waiting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're alled to say that.
No, say it.
You
say it, Tyler.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, was Gomez Adams, aka M. Bison from Street Fighter.
Yeah. But I do also like how they brought Christopher Lloyd back too. That was very nice.
Yeah.
Anywho, okay. Joe, tell us about the new Marvel's universe, year 1.
Okay. I'm gonna run through this as quickly and succinct as possible because it is we only have so much time. But to go into kayfabe for a little bit, there was the Ultimate Universe from Marvel. This was a directive, a whatever you want to call it. It was Marvel Comics wanted to have a line of comics that were more modern and where readers could just jump in and start reading it, and they didn't have to worry about like the 20 plus years of Marvel Comics history when it first came out. The Marvel Universe, it's much maligned by Marvel comic fans, the original one. It was too gritty. It like character assassinated a lot of characters, and it just was not very well liked, for the exception of Ultimate Spider-Man, which ended up creating Miles Morales, who's now part of the main universe, and the Maker, which is an evil version of Reed Richards that ultimately caused the destruction of the Ultimate Universe. And he was one of the 2 survivors of the comic line, one being Miles Morales, the other one being the Maker. Maker ends up in the mainstay 616 universe and is captured by regular Reed Richards, who does not like him because obviously he's an evil version of him. So this comic line picks up with the Maker breaking out of prison, escaping to a new universe And then basically he has all of the comic knowledge of the original universe that he's able to manipulate how this new universe operates, and he wins. Like he becomes the de facto dictator of the world. Captain America has never found an ice. Howard Stark never dies, so Tony Stark never takes over and actually has a very successful business relationship with Obadiah Stane. Peter Parker never becomes Spider-Man, all that kind of stuff. Eventually, though, Howard Stark finds out that the Maker has been secretly controlling the world this whole time, and he rebels against him, and he ends up trapping the Maker in this hyperbolic time chamber dome in a city that will be locked up for 1,000 years their time, but only 2 years outside of them. And his son Tony Stark takes up the mantle of Iron Man, and then has to go recruit a bunch of heroes. So that's kind of more or less set up. This is done by Jonathan Hickman, who did the Krakoa Age, the first half of the Krakoa Age for X-Men. He does a really good job. I really like his comic book lines. He does a really good job of saying all right, here are the lines you have for your storytelling purposes to his team of writers. You cannot break these lines, and it causes the writers to be a lot more creative in the stories they are telling. And in the first year of this comic line, we have Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Black Panther, and the Ultimates, which is the Avengers version of this comic line. And it's a really cool setting, to be honest. They end up rescuing Captain America, and Captain America wakes up, and there is no more America. It's just gone.
That's raw. That's really cool.
So it's he's fighting for a country that people don't even know existed. After World War II, it's just been wiped out in terms of its culture and its relevance and everything like that. So the Ultimates line I really, really like, as these characters are struggling to be heroes and what it means to be have their destinies robbed of them and everything. Hank Pym gets a lobotomized at the start, so he's not very smart. So the Maker goes to this universe, finds this universe's Reed Richards, and stops the Fantastic Four from being assembled, and then transforms Reed Richards into Doctor Doom. So that the Ultimates number 4, great comic. Just the way it's structured, because it's 4 lines on each page, and you can read each page normally, and it tells a quick story about each character of the Fantastic Four, or you can read it vertically across each page, and it tells the entire story in chronological order of everything that happened. Yeah, it's super trippy, but it's so cool. I've been really digging this line of series. Ultimate Spider-Man, Peter Parker isn't necessarily the main show star. It's Harry Osborn, and he finds out that from Iron Man now, they're I had a list of superheroes that the Maker had to stop from showing up. You're not on one of them, so I don't care about you. And so now he's wrestling with the fact that he is not some chosen one kind of dynamic, but his friend Peter Parker is, which has been really fun. Black Panther is fighting Moon Knight. There's a fucking war going on in Africa, and they have to they're fighting with Khonshu and all these Egyptian gods and their avatars that they keep summoning. But then it turns out Vibranium actually has some Lovecraft monster locked inside of it that they're trying to wrestle with and use.
Yes, of course.
Yes. But it's super cool. And then Killmonger and Storm are in it as well, and they're revolutionaries that they're working with Black Panther but don't trust them. It's a really, really cool line. Ultimate X-Men is done by Peach Momoko, who does beautiful watercoloring art, and she is basically writing X-Men like a shonen battle manga with schoolgirls, and it's very cool and very, very different and very weird. But it's a very unique line that I've been really, really enjoying, and there's so much of it. There's so many comics. We're on the second year right now, so we're coming up to the end of the predestined. You have 2 years to write the story, and then we're gonna have our big crossover event that's gonna kind of climax the whole thing. So I'm interested to see what that's which should be coming out in December. But I read everything on Marvel United or Unlimited, so I won't probably read it until February or so. But it's very, very cool. I think it's like actually it's a really great way of like taking what you know about the Marvel universe and just turning some knobs and seeing in some what ifs, but like doing it in a very cohesive manner. Hawkeye is a Native American woman who just like is super cool as well. She's sick. Bruce Banner ends up being manipulated by the Maker, becomes the Hulk, and then goes to the place where Iron Fist gets his powers. So he's the Hulk with the Iron Fist techniques and stuff.
Horrifying.
Yeah, no, like they try like we're gonna go kill the Hulk. They get fucking destroyed. It's like oh, not only are you the Hulk that has Bruce Banner in control, you're the Hulk with the Iron Fist. Like holy shit, what the fuck are you going to do? I've been really, really enjoying this series. So I'm going to continue reading it and just kind of give y'all some every once in a while updates. But what's great about it is that like you can just kind of start reading it and you can just have the knowledge that you have of like the MCU or just general Marvel knowledge, and it's just a really good like, oh wow, they're doing some weird stuff. Like the other thing is like Loki has taken over Asgard, so like Thor is an outcast now, and so he is like dealing with the fact that he doesn't have like a home to go to as well. But yeah, I really like this line. It's very fun. I feel like it has a lot of like good storytelling to it, which I usually don't say about comics. I have run into one comic bullshit issue across all of the lines so far, which I think is very good because usually there's one per comic book line.
But that seems very low.
That it's a very low. I was just like, wow, we're doing great, gang. We have so far Jonathan Hickman, who is helming it, does a really good job of like, guys, what if we like actually told a story and we didn't just do a bunch of bullshit every once in a while? Like, I don't know. So I've been enjoying it. I do like, if you have a passing interest, I recommend picking up the Ultimate Incursion, which is the start of the line, which does all of the setup for the rest of the series. I just started Ultimate Wolverine. Wolverine's the Winter Soldier. Like, that is, I think, a really cool concept to be done.
Does he lose an arm and have like a different set of steel claws?
No, he's just in Russia, is brainwashed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like awoken for missions, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And like the first like issue, he's like hunting down like what would be the X-Men, essentially. Very, very, very cool. I'm very excited to read more of that. But yeah, new Ultimate Universe. I'm really, really enjoying it and I'm really liking it.
Nice.
Cool. Alrighty. Tyler and Joe.
I didn't do anything.
Okay, never mind. Next. No, you guys watched Fantastic Four First Steps. Don't lie to me.
So Bradley did.
Yeah, Bradley did too. Bradley was there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm left out for once. I'll go sit in the corner.
I will say this is my favorite Fantastic Four movie.
I think so too. I agree.
Wow, what a incredibly high bar to clear.
I know, right? I think this movie definitely got hurt from Superman coming out 2 weeks before, for sure. Like, I got a lot of the same vibes of like people like the Fantastic Four. They have an established world. They're benefiting society. Like, it's got the same vibe, but like Superman definitely stole that thunder of like, oh okay.
Pause. Sorry, we didn't get a Bradley Superman update.
Oh, it's true.
Oh
Right.
yeah, I should have done it in quickies. Oh my god.
No, okay, no, save it for the end. Save it for the end in case Tyler needs to leave because he has a hard line in about an hour. So.
Long story short, Superman was 10 out of 10, but I think Joe's onto something. This movie did kind of aim for that same general feeling of like hope and positivity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one thing I really liked in this movie is that I feel like a lot of times in superhero media, they're like, sometimes the common folk can be very overly critical of their saviors. Like, there's even the trope of like the thankless hero. But in this movie, I feel like everyone really just loves and respects and is thankful for the Fantastic Four. And when the Fantastic Four ask for help from the general populace, the whole world kind of comes together and they're like, fuck yeah, let's do this. So
Yeah. Well, they also have some tension because like it turns out, so like the plot of the movie is Galactus is coming to eat the planet, and they go talk to him, and they're like, Galactus is like, if you give me the baby, I won't do it, and they refuse to give him the baby.
Another story based around the baby.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we have the name of our podcast. It is The Baby. It's so, and then there's a big uproar, and there's a lot of like, you know, trolley problem kind of stuff. Like, is this right to do? I really, really liked the middle segment with Shalabal and Galactus when they're doing like the space chase stuff. That shit was so rad. It was so cool. It felt like very 1950s, like sci-fi, and was just tons of action. It was really tense. It was just really, really fun. I thought. I really like those two characters a lot in this movie.
All the action was amazing to look at. Though one gripe I have with this movie is Galactus has never felt so unthreatening to me.
Really,
I didn't feel. I don't know. He didn't feel. The attacks they were using that were affecting them as much as they did. I don't know. Just didn't feel right to me.
I felt threatened that like Shalabal existed and could just do the things she did, where like they have to at one point, like they're building a bunch of stuff around the world. They're like, all right, we're about to do it, and Shalabal just like knocks out every single one of them in like 30 seconds.
See that? Yeah. I loved that moment. That moment. Yeah. That's a moment that happens in Three Body Problem, and it's just as cool there. But then like Galactus, I don't know. He didn't give me the vibe of some world-eating entity, and then even then, I feel like Galactus is a big shot in the universe, right? And then I feel like these guys are like Miss Invisible is like shooting her force rays at him, and Human Torch is shooting fire at him, and the fact like it's pushing him or he's phased at all makes me go like, how strong is this guy really?
I hear the way they use their powers are really underwhelming in this, which is not really what you want to hear from a hero story.
I think Mr. Fantastic actually only stretches 3 times in the movie.
God,
insane. Because every picture I see, every like image I see of Mr. Fantastic in the comics, he's just loofing it up like a weirdo. Oh, yeah. Like he can't not stretch himself. It seems like.
They're very scared of either the budget or just using the powers when it comes to it. Like, there's a point where, like, they're trying to, like, bait Galactus into stepping on something, so they put, like, their baby where he needs to go, and then they're distracting Galactus, so they, like, switch out a baby carrier. And you would think Mr. Fantastic would be at his science console, and he would stretch his arms out, grab the baby carrier, and then swap it. That motherfucker walks up there, grabs it, and comes back. I'm like, guys, you've got to be shitting me.
Oh, it's so the budget. Because you remember they didn't want to do Miss Marvel realistically because it was too expensive. That sucks.
Yeah.
If someone didn't know Fantastic Four, and they came into this movie, and this was their first exposure, they probably would have thought Reed Richards' power was just being really smart, because I feel like it was like 80% of the way through the movie, and then Galactus starts grabbing him and stretching him, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, he can do that.
Yeah, it's like, that is a good point about Reed, is that like he does have those abilities, but his problem solving capabilities is a thing that like 90% of the time is what solves the issues, right? So I do like that.
But the Human Torch fixes it in this movie.
Yeah, dude, Johnny is so good in this movie.
He was my favorite character out of all of them in this movie.
This is the best version of Johnny Storm. I was listening to the Scalps podcast, and he was saying this Johnny Storm sucks, and that's 100% wrong. He's so cool. He's good looking. He's got that style, but like he goes on like a subplot, and he very much goes like, I'm going to take care of this. I know Reed has to do his thing, but let me do my thing. If he needs me, he can get me, and like. He's so, and like I also like the family dynamic in this, where like Johnny and Grimm or Ben are constantly going back and forth at each other. There's like a scene where like Reed is like talking about their plan, and they're just looking at him, and Reed finally goes like, if he doesn't agree to this, y'all can punch him. And they're like, yeah, and like they get excited about that. I'm like, these are just two brothers like hanging out. Like I totally get it.
Say the line.
Yeah, that is the one disappointment. Is I've been playing a lot of Marvel Rivals, and let me tell you, in Marvel Rivals, when it's fucking clobbering time, you know it's clobbering time in that game. And I just like, what's his name? The guy from the Bear just could not live up to that standard.
He's a good actor too. I feel like they were directed to be maybe muted in those goofier elements.
I think so, but like I don't know, man. Like I'm really tired of like superheroes not being proud of like their like catchphrases. Like even like Avengers Assemble for Cap, it was teased, and it has such a great payoff at the end of Endgame, right? Like, but like Cap is never like embarrassed to say that line. He feels like confident when he does say it, right? So that's just like, and like I mentioned this to Willer, it's like I'm at the point now for like superhero movies that like superheroes should just be fighting supervillains as like a daily occurrence. Like that should just be the world they live in now. Like I want Mole Man to exist. Like even if he's in a montage, I want him to like be there as like
who is it? Mole Man?
Mole Man. He's literally the Underminer from The Incredibles.
I was gonna say, okay, cool.
That was the other thing. I watched The Incredibles right before this, like just because that movie is fantastic. But and you can very much like see how it borrows from the two of them. But I really like the movie. I do think like Superman stole its lunch. I do think there's like not necessarily pacing issues, but there's a lot of montages in this movie, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a montage.
Yeah, like it's like, oh hey, we're building a thing, and it's a montage of them building things. It's like, oh hey, we gotta fight these guys. It's a montage of like the various.
The Human Torch has to decipher a language montage.
Yeah, but like it
Ben's entire backstory montage.
They did. I feel like the thing gets so little actual like good time in this as well.
Good. Because he doesn't fucking deserve it. It's just, I don't have skin anymore.
Okay, you tried becoming a rock man and like living your life.
Dude, literally,
what do you mean?
He has no other plot. He has no plot.
Okay, but that is generally like his core concept.
Yeah, his core concept is a depressed little bitch about not having skin anymore.
Oh, you're gonna get clobbered.
I like the ongoing bit about the clobbering time catchphrase where he's like walking down the street and there's like construction workers and they're like, "Hey, thing, say the thing," and he's like, "That's in the cartoon." He's like, "I don't do that in real life."
But like, on the counterpoint, like I do like that the thing is much more confident and comfortable like in his skin at this point, right? Like he's like a superstar. I just wish there was something else they could be doing with the thing. He has like a small like minuscule plot with the girl.
He's Jewish now, which is cool. That's the most interesting part of it.
Yeah. So it's like I don't know. Like there's four main characters. Pedro Pascal I'm so like 50-50 on because it's like his acting is not Reed Richards. It's just like Pedro Pascal.
Why didn't they keep John Krasinski?
Because they didn't think he'd be a big enough star. I can guarantee you that because they want Pedro to be around for a while.
Well, it's not like they casted that because he was a popular fan cast, and then he was that was so weird. Let's introduce this popular fan cast for him to get killed in a movie as like a gag. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's very, very strange. But like, I like the writing for Reed. Like, Sue puts it out best, where it's like, Reed, you keep on saying that you think about the best possible way to do things. But I know for a fact the first thing your mind comes to is the most efficient way of doing something, even if it means harming others. I think that's a really good flaw for them to point out about Reed Richards very early on. If they're going to continue doing this, but who knows? So I really like that aspect of that characterization of Reed. But like, I don't know. It's a good, solid film. I enjoy it. I walked out of the theater. I was like, I want to go see that again, which is the same feeling I saw walking out of Superman. So I'll give that a plus.
Throughout the movie, they were having little throwaways of teasing the alternate universe. So
yeah,
we'll get some tie-ins.
There's a shot where like they're at the UN press conference and Latveria has an empty seat there because Sue Storm is speaking. Which I thought was funny. And then
that's cool because Doom is in this universe.
Yes, he is in the post-credits or the mid-credits scene of the movie.
Where was he during all this?
I don't fucking know, man. He's doing his own bullshit.
I guess he'll end up in the rocket ship with the others that lands in the other universe, man. Yo, I've had friends like, hey, let's go watch Fantastic Four. I'm like, I'll see how I'm feeling. I am just checked out. Like, I had no interest to watch this because people were like, dude, we're so back, and I watched it. I was so disappointed, and I'm just like, I don't think we're back yet, and I don't think I like the things that people like anymore as far as the MCU goes.
Like this, I wish that we started the MCU with this, and we did more stuff like of this. Of like, let's just do a bunch of one-offs of different like alternate universe characters, and then we kind of come together in that way. Because it felt very fresh to be like, oh, this is a different universe, and it doesn't feel connected to the MCU right now, and like they're doing their own thing, and we're like, as a society, superhero movies are so ingrained and so it's part of our culture that like we can just jump into a movie where they're already superheroes and they're fighting supervillains. Like we're at that point now, and
we don't need the whole origin movie.
Yeah,
I mean, they've realized that, like, Batman, Superman, Fantastic Four, like, none of them get...
But even for, like, Spider-Man, like, in Spider-Man's, like, in the MCU, he, like, Vulture is, like, his first supervillain he fights, right? Like, the Fantastic Four have been fighting supervillains, like, the whole time. Same with Superman. Like, he's fought other villains before. So, like, I think it's just, like, we're coming to that age of, like, we don't need to set up a supervillain origin. We don't need to set up a superhero origin. We just need conflict in what it means to be this character.
My thing with, like, starting them in a disconnected universe... multiverses I don't like in the sense that it's, like... It's so ungrounded, because once you get put into another universe, it just feels like, okay, nothing you knew matters anymore. You are now just strictly a character, like a little action figure for us to move in this universe, so you can play with these other action figures. Like, it just completely takes me out of it, and I feel like when the Fantastic Four eventually get added to the main universe, like, oh, the universe you saved is gone, and now you have to, like, find your way in this universe, and it just feels so, like, I can't relate to that. Like, it's just too different at that point. Even beyond you being a superhero, but yeah.
Yeah.
They say Parmesan here.
Yeah, I totally get that. I totally understand. Like, I go to these movies not expecting, like, the highest of art, and I'm just kind of there to, like, go chill out and have a day at the movies. So, like, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, you have any other thoughts, Brad?
That was about it. I'm excited to see how this ties into the rest of the MCU, but
yeah,
I don't know. I do feel like we already talked about how this movie was hurt by coming out in such close proximity to Superman, but even like, regardless of the quality of the movies, it's like Superman is kicking off a new phase for DC, and this is like a movie on the tail of the tail end of the MCU. So I guess like people were probably just much more raring to see that other one.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, which moves us to...
I didn't have my bit about it.
True.
Yeah.
This one's interesting.
He's like, I've been seeing this.
Yeah. I forgot where I typed this up. Does anybody have the notes where I typed it up in our chat?
Was it in the Roundabout Discord? I think it
was. It? I thought it was. It could be way up there. Anyway, so this is gonna be the last one that I ever pay to see. Mm-hmm. I will only be seeing these movies going forward being pirated. And I'm not gonna talk about them anymore with y'all either. Like, this is gonna be like my hard last time I ever mention this in a public setting, because a lot of things, go by word of mouth, and I'll just be like, yeah, sure, that's a thing. I'm basically turning it off at this point. I'm done with the MCU. I'm done with Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'll play like their games and stuff because those are completely separately attached entity. I am entirely done with the Hollywood sector of them specifically.
And why is that?
So I think a lot of y'all know, Hollywood's like kind of an unforgiving business, but my fiance, she worked at the MCU for 3-4 years, and she worked on everything live action, starting with Doctor Strange 2 to still movies that are coming out now. So that's like movie, TV shows, and specials. So that's like a fuck ton.
Yeah.
And this most recent thing that happened with this movie is her name was left out of the credits, which is kind of a big deal, because they have other artists and things like that where while she was there, she left last October. And the philosophy is if you worked on something, like basically your first 6 months you don't get included in anything. Basically, even if you worked on it, you know, you need to become like an actual member of the crew and the like studio before you start getting your name on titles and stuff. That's an understanding thing. But after that, it's like if you work on things, your name is essentially going to be remaining in the credits. Even if you left midway through on that project, like you still had contributions to it. So within the last 8 months, probably, I guess, they've enacted this new thing where, oh, if you left, you know, we're not going to put your name on the credits anymore. And this is an entire thing that was probably spewed on by her old immediate supervisor, who enacted retaliation upon her after Kelly reported her. So they are now removing her name from future credits of things that she worked on. And this was a huge project. Like, the Fantastic Four was actually the one that she provided the most work towards and actually started getting her team more involved with the project. So, like, the actual announcement for the Fantastic Four series, which was like a Valentine's Day thing, I think, she worked with an artist to actually create that social media announcement for the Fantastic Four movie. And it was like a really huge deal. And her immediate superiors did not like that she was getting more people credit than what they were giving her for. So yeah, they didn't like that effort or that work, and so they were retaliating against her, basically trying to force her to quit because they were just like not even not assigning her jobs to do, but they were just treating her like absolute shit. And HR even retaliated against her, and yeah, that's the whole big thing. And now that they're removing her name from the credits of work that she did, I'm fucking done with this shit because her entire team's a piece of shit. Basically, the digital arts team and concept art team that she worked with, her immediate superior doesn't do any work and is kind of a slave for one of the new executive producers on the movie. He's a piece of shit. He's a very talented artist who just treats everyone like shit to the point that even other teams don't like working with him. And the only reason he's partly getting his work in this movie was because she opened the way through with Kevin Feige to start including their team more on those projects. And the reason they hadn't been before previously was because this executive producer is a piece of shit and nobody likes working with him.
So basically, don't go watch the movie. It gets a 4 out of 100.
Yeah, I'm done with this shit. Like,
No,
I was already kind of.
That is so shitty, dude. And so this wasn't the last thing she worked. There's gonna be future stuff she worked on still
it's all the way
coming
up to new Avengers, you know, like, and beyond. Yeah. So this has been a philosophy that has existed forever, like where you get credits on your work that you get included in, especially if you worked on it. And like, there were points where she had to defend other artists keeping their names on the title, like on the project, because like her manager was like, we should remove this, they don't work here anymore. And they're like, no, he fucking worked on the project, his name goes in it.
that is just insane. What do you mean, breaking it down for a second? It's like, if you worked on it, you worked on it. What do you mean that, like, especially in an industry like Hollywood, where your IMDb page, for example, your credits list, your CV, is your entire lifeblood. So if to just cut people out just seems like it doesn't even work for that industry. It makes no sense. It just seems cruel.
Literally just a bunch of princesses. Like, I know this is completely irrelevant, but I was seeing something like, you know, the movie I, Robot?
Banger.
At the robot Sonny was played by Alan Tudyk, and Will Smith had him removed from credits in the movie because he was rating higher than Will Smith.
He was removed from like the tagline, like the opener, like the key marquee names.
Yeah,
if I remember. Yeah,
which is Alan Tudyk. You know, like he was more relevant then than he is now.
Yeah, like I didn't even know that was a thing until like a year or two ago when I was like, oh, I should watch iRobot. I was like, fucking, he was in this? Like,
yeah, exactly.
He played the best character in the entire movie. Like, it was just crazy.
Yeah, so it's like, I know people who work on the movies are nowhere close to the fame and fortune of people that are, the celebrities in the movie and the actual like front faces. So you think that would be a more supportive team, but no, the corruption just starts all the way down at the shit level. And it's weird to say, you know, like, I tell this story to people and they're like, yeah, that's not surprising that Hollywood's that shitty, and it isn't. But it still just fucking sucks to see someone go through it. You know, like
It's
you don't want
still
it to be that
incredibly,
bad.
especially when it's that close to you. Like,
Yeah.
dude, the fact that like you're this measured about it, like I would be so pissed. I would like the vitriol. And you're keeping it together a lot better than I would have because that's so shitty. Uh, and you know, we were talking earlier, like in regards to Kojima, different industry but kind of similar. It's like one man does not make these movies. Like the director and the actors are not the only people that are relevant here, and I think front-facing people don't always care about that, and I think that's really sad.
Dude, that's how asinine and petty it is. Like it's fucking wild.
Well, you know, that's just more incentive for me not to go check this out.
Yeah,
that's
fuck that noise. Fuck that manager. Fuck that executive producer.
Mm-hmm.
Mic drop. Now, Joe, why don't you tell us about the Naked Gun? Hopefully a more uplifting thing than Marvel's bad practices.
The trailer for this looked really funny.
I watched Naked Gun. I watched the original Naked Gun way back when. It's one of my favorite comedy films. It has one of my favorite all-time like bits in it in comedy, which is like $20.
You need to refresh my memory, Joe. I can't remember that bit.
Here, let me give you $20. I want you to refresh your memory.
I don't know. My memory ain't so good still.
All right. Here's another 20.
Oh, that
All
bit.
right, I think I remember that bit.
I know that bit. Sorry, wait, I don't remember that bit.
Is starring Liam Neeson, who was casted because his name sounds very close to Leslie Nelson. And so it really is a remake. It's not done by the same directors, but it like Tyler mentioned before, like don't change the recipe, right? In our quick talks, like, and they very much didn't do that. Like, it's the same kind of styling of jokes. There are no repeated jokes from the previous movies. Like you don't.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it's like okay, but they're the still style of jokes of like, you know, like someone like misinterprets a turn of phrase and like takes it very literally, that kind of stuff. Or there's some like really like weird stuff happening in the background, or there's just a random non sequitur that's happening, things like that. It feels like it's very much in spirit of the Naked Gun, and but it also feels really weird because it's like you're doing everything correctly, but I've seen it before, so it's not nearly coming as like funny as I would think it would do, right? And I think that's just because like I've seen a Naked Gun, I've seen Airplane, I've seen all those movies, and they're some of my favorites, and I think they're really, really funny. Two people next to me who apparently have never seen these fucking films before loved it. They were crying the whole time. That's not to say I didn't laugh. There was the Don't Call Me Shirley shit that they do. It gets me every time. I just go,
it's good.
It's quick. It's funny. Like, you know, a joke is really funny when they say the joke and then the whole audience is silent for 5 seconds and then everyone starts laughing after the joke because they have finally caught up to what has just happened. Like it's really well done. It's very fun. I think it's perfectly within your style of humor, Tyler. I think you would really, really like it.
I rewatched the other Naked Gun last weekend with Kelly for the first time.
Oh yeah.
If y'all have never seen Naked Gun and you want to like feel what the comedy is like before going into the next one, just watch the opening credits with the police siren driving around.
Yeah,
that sets the tone very well.
The one complaint I have about the movie is they don't nearly do as fun stuff with the camera as like the originals did.
And they don't have that genius and wit anymore.
They don't like perspective. Like there's one in Top Secret where like there's a phone that's in front of the camera and like in the background there's like a bunch of people talking and the phone starts ringing and then the guy comes up to the phone, and so you would think he'd be as big as the phone or the phone should be a regular size, but he walks up there, it's just a giant phone that he picks up and starts talking to. And it's shit like that. It's like, God, it's so funny and it's so smart, and they don't I can't recall a moment that like did that really well. And no, I take it back. They do the Austin Powers in the tent bit, which is still really funny.
Nice.
So it's fun. It's good. Definitely Tyler for you. Highly recommend.
Good.
I don't know if Willard would enjoy these movies. They're very, very, very silly. Like to the point.
Willard liked Grandma's Boy, so I think he'd like this one.
No.
Okay.
Wait, no. I like silly things. I don't like Grandma's Boy.
He laughed hard during Grandma's Boy.
It's very absurd. It's very absurdist humor where it's just like, we have to move this car now. Okay, we're gonna move the car with a crane game, and then they start playing a crane game, kind of a thing.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's fun. Pamela Anderson's in it as well, which was shocking because like usually they do a very young woman to like play these roles. So it was surprising that they actually chose like an age-appropriate love interest.
I mean, I feel like the one in the original was also age appropriate. She was like late 30s.
Yeah, but Leslie Nelson was.
Oh yeah, he's like, yeah. Okay, fair.
Pamela Anderson also looking good. I think she reverted a lot of her plastic surgery she did, so she looks just a lot more natural.
Normal.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm normal.
God, she has a segment that's so funny in the movie. That's Leslie Nelson also, of course. Leslie Nelson. I'm sorry, Liam Neeson.
Very similar names.
Yes. There's a fun action sequence at the end that involves him not killing people, and it's really good. Weirdly, the Mole Man for Fantastic Four is also in this movie. He plays Ed. He plays the son of Ed from the original Naked Gun, which is like the sidekick character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's pretty good at it as well. Anyways, Naked Gun.
Who's the athletic celebrity in it?
Okay, let me think. I'm trying to think. I if he was there, I don't know who they are. Probably that. No, actually, I probably know what role they play. I probably don't know who it is.
Do you know who it was in the original?
Are you talking about O.J. Simpson?
Yeah, it was O.J. Simpson.
They have a bit about O.J. Simpson in this movie.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so pretty good. But yeah, it was. Dave Bautista's in this. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I'm not gonna say.
Oh, I fucking love Batista. He's such a good actor, actually.
He's got such a good fucking bit, and he comes out of nowhere.
Leave it alone.
I know. I already said too much.
You seem to like this more than the 6 out of 10 you gave it.
It's just like I don't know, man. It's just cozy and it's fun. I think the reason I gave it a 6 out of 10 because I was really expecting to like really laugh a lot, and I was just kind of enjoying myself and vibing.
I see.
I think also it doesn't help that like the jokes I were laughing at were not this as hard, like pretty hard. Were not the same as the people next to me were laughing as hard.
You know, that is an interesting dynamic at a movie theater where you're just in a completely different wavelength than a lot of the people surrounding you. If you're on the same wavelength, that's like peak movie experience. But
oh yeah, for sure. But like, so I think that was kind of part of it. But I still really enjoyed it.
Very nice.
Nice.
We're gonna.
Let me go into my 2 quick bits, right? Because we're going into the final thing.
Well, yeah. Well, I was gonna do weapons first, and then you do your 2 quick bits.
I felt like weapons should be okay. Let's do weapons.
But, well, I'm trying to get your things out of the way, so you're free to leave if you need to. I'm looking out for you, buddy.
Yeah. Understandable. Let's do weapons.
Yes, I watched Weapons, and then I was like, I'm curious how horror main Tyler would feel about Weapons, because it's hard to tell what Tyler likes in horror movies. He doesn't like it when it's too cerebral. He likes a good slasher, but he also likes weird stuff. So I didn't know where Weapons would fall in that line.
I wouldn't like. Okay, it's weird to say. Is like, I would. Weird makes it sound like it's different. But that is just another word for original in this case.
Yeah,
because this is what mainstream good horror is now.
I'll throw out this movie is made by the guy who made Barbarians, so that is 2 interesting movies he's made.
No, like yes, sure, but this is the one of the lead writers from also The Whitest Kids You Know, which is way more famous than Barbarian.
What? Wait.
Yes!
One of those final scenes really feels like a Whitest Kids You Know sketch.
So, Willard, with that context, this is a sketch comedian on the level of Jordan Peele.
Oh, this actually changes because
it changes everything.
The movie is very good at also being funny as well as being thrilling. So
because we are so desensitized because of the internet. We are desensitized to horror. So like you look at a movie like 1408 where it's like constantly scary throughout and like people are the same level of scared throughout the entire movie. And it feels like a common judgment of older movies is like you would go to the movie theater and you know, you're watching the horror movie and you hear that person next to you go, "Oh, don't go in there," you know, sort of thing. But it's like that common sense is in the movie now. It feels like. You know?
I think I know what you're saying. Like the characters feel like they understand tropes, and like they don't act in ways that are frustrating, in my opinion.
They don't act in ways that are frustrating, and in a horror movie, that's funny. Because if you think about Cabin in the Woods, like that movie is a satire, and then you have the stoner guy the whole time, like I'm not gonna go in there, and that's funny. And that's like the first time we start to see this, like the horror is not shying away from the humor in the situation. And it's Jordan Peele does the same thing to where his movies aren't even horror anymore. Like you just think about Nope, and it's just like Nope. Like I'm not gonna fucking interact with that shit.
It's about that emotion and that feeling more than the horror, dude. There's the scene in the gas station with Julia Gardner and Josh Brolin and Wong is fucking funny.
But it's good too. Like it's funny, but you hate seeing Wong look like that. You're like, that's terrifying.
That's where this movie is like really good because it's got those comedic bits. That scene with Wong and his husband really got under my skin. That was a really hard to watch scene.
Yeah.
Also, those motherfuckers were about to eat like 8 glizzies. Is that how gay men live? That is so sick.
yeah, dude. It looks like the goatest of time, but their chairs aren't comfortable. They sacrifice comfort for style, which is a choice.
And that's a woman's touch that just can't be beat. Anyways, Julia Gardner is an actress I really love, and she's very prominent in this movie. She's Ruth from the Ozarks, and is in others. She's Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four.
Yeah. I herald the beginning.
Yep. But this is her role of the month, in my opinion, because
this is definitely a way better role for sure.
She's super good. She plays. So here's the premise of the movie, and then I don't think we'll talk anything else about, except I have one other thing to say about.
Wait, hold on. When you give this premise, it has to be the same as
it's a poster. You gotta give the poster premise.
The same as the what? You cut out.
This movie has a very good trailer, along with its premise. Because
I didn't watch the trailer. Do you want to tell the premise then?
Yeah. Let me do it because the trailer is the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Cool.
And that's it. That's all you get the context of going into this movie. That's super good. Yeah. So at 2:17, one night, 17 children wake up and run out of their houses. Now, all of these kids are in Julia Gardner's classroom, and all of her kids are gone except for one kid. And the mystery is why, and the whole town is trying to figure it out.
Yeah. And she's getting ostracized as a result because she's the one adult related to it. The kid gets investigated because he's the one survivor of whatever this incident was. Yes. And that premise, I think, is incredibly strong. I will say, this movie, I think, is a little slow at times to utilize the premise.
Yeah.
I actually think it has a good structure. It's shot into chapters where each chapter focuses on a different character. And you get to see a story from multiple views. So that's where I feel like the sketch comedy aspect really works, because I think it works really well for a multi-character narrative like this.
Dude, the cop chapter, though, that was the most painful part of the movie for me.
Painful as in boring, or painful as like it hurts?
It hurts. Like
Oh.
I like okay, y'all. There's a part in the movie that involves a potato peeler. I'm gonna let you assume the worst.
Woo!
I didn't shut my eyes during that part. During the cop part, I had to like look away and cringe.
Dude, and then as soon as that happened, I pieced together what happened, like, in the previous chapter. I was like, oh, this guy is a fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
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 When you said the cop chapter, I got confused with the dad chapter where he has that extended dream sequence with the floating AR-15, and then he wakes up and he's like, "What the fuck was that?"
It's yeah. That's like the first funny bit in the movie. It's like that is funny. It's real and it's funny.
And I like how the characters intertwine. There's a chapter here. Then the movie gets like a really scary chapter where it kind of introduces an antagonist, as it were. And then there's what I think the best chapter of the movie is focused around the surviving kid. This chapter harkens to JoJo's Part 4 Bites the
I was about to
Dust
say,
arc.
did you like that this was a JoJo's Part 4 movie?
I did! You thought it too?
Yeah, I was like, Willer, you better love this movie. It's just JoJo's Part 4.
It really much harkens to Hayato Kawajiri getting stuck in this situation against a horrifying entity that he cannot understand. And it kind of plays with those vibes. And the end of the movie is... The final climax is very intense and also cathartic. But yeah, I gave this a 3.5, but talking about it with you, I should go maybe a little higher. Because I do think it's like a little slow at times. And there's one negative... Do you remember how in Long Legs, you probably erased everything about Long Legs from your head? But
I did have to refresh myself on what that movie was the other day, even though I have seen it.
In Long Legs, you really have to suspend your belief at the investigation around this really interesting concept. In Long Legs, they overlook something incredibly obvious, and you just have to take that. In this movie... There is no way that they couldn't have solved this. There's just... They didn't even try, is what it seems like. Oh, it's a commentary...
What do you mean they didn't try?
Tyler. It would have been so... Okay. There's a child... Tyler!
The final chapter with the kids shows how they were hiding everything. And then it gets solved, like... Okay,
no,
first of all, Willard, the case is solved in 20 days. Less than a month's time. Okay?
Not by the police, who... First of all, look, okay, let's address this. It's a commentary on the police being bad. There's levels to this. You cannot portray...
It is a small town.
Or is it? Their elementary school has like hundreds of children, Tyler. I think it's a decently sized suburb.
It is a small town where the police force has like investigators. I don't do that job. Okay, like they have somebody else come in.
Okay, first of all, their explanation to how the police didn't catch on makes no sense. Oh, your dad suddenly has a stroke with no prior knowledge and has fork wounds on his fucking face. But
they didn't
really get
Tyler. He didn't see the dad like that.
But the investigators did see the dad, quote unquote.
No, he has makeup on.
Yeah, okay, forget the fork wounds. The point is, suddenly your dad has like a stroke, and there's no medical history of him ever addressing this. Like,
okay, sure,
I would have rather that been magic than the answer they gave us.
But it's like, again,
but the real problem,
Tyler, this entire thing takes over 2.5 weeks time.
I think it's like a month. It's like 30 days. Maybe.
It's a short amount of time.
I'll give you that. But the point is, suddenly, the kid who is a survivor, I'm not even going to say it, he starts doing something in town that is very weird and should raise some alarms, and no one looks into it. No one looks into the footage camera of the kids running and triangulates. Anyways, I mean,
no, literally, yeah.
Come on, man, come on. They did not even try. But it only bothers me because the premise is so fucking interesting. And you know that in any other town, this would be everything the police focuses on. This is an insane scenario that just happened. 17 kids just all go missing in the same hour of the night. Like, that's insane. What happened? Like,
at one point, they do mention canine units, and it's like, how would that have not worked?
It would have
Yeah, it would have.
I think everything would have worked better also if the finale of the movie takes place at a different location than where it took place. Because I think that's all I'll say there. I think
Yeah,
right.
but like that's they're just trying to budget out their sets they built, man.
You know what? I'll give you that. That's just good movie making.
Yeah, that's just efficient use of stuff.
But yeah, it's a really good movie. Like I didn't love it, but it was very solid. The acting
It
was
is a
really
good original movie.
and it's shot really well. There's a bunch of
Yeah.
like tracking shots that I really love and just really cool sequences.
I would say it's on par with The Ritual for like contemporary horror quality.
Nice.
And they have solid jump scares. Like, here's the thing: jump scares are a rite of passage that directors just get to do now. They're like, oh, what should we make the jump scare in the movie? This movie has 3 great jump scares, with the third one being the best one.
Yeah.
The third one's in the basement.
In the dark, yeah.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
yeah.
I think Joe should watch this. I do. I thought you would like Naked Gun more, but you know what? You might like this more now that you've watched Naked Gun.
Mm-hmm. I was debating. I was like, you know what? I just spent 4 hours paying them all. I really don't want to go into another high stress environment. So
this is a good mixed horror comedy movie.
cool.
We're going to keep the. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I was gonna say I saw the poster for this movie. I was like, oh, that looks sick. It's so simple and it's effective and it's chilling.
The imagery of the movie is super good. Yeah, for sure. Tyler, we're gonna keep you going, and I need to go blow my nose. Holy shit! I sound so nasally. Tell us about Happy Gilmore 2.
So, Happy Gilmore 2, the much-awaited 2-decade-long sequel to Happy Gilmore 1.
Was this much awaited, or like no one thought this would happen?
No one wanted this.
I was not expecting this.
No one wanted this. Okay. This is a just typical Adam Sandler movie, but you know what? I will say the premise of this movie is that someone is trying to make new golf, and it's supposed to be super weird.
Banana golf.
Yeah, but it's essentially banana golf, and like they removed a hip bone so that everybody can swing like Happy Gilmore could.
That is insane.
The premise is extremely out there, and I don't think that like. Here's the thing: this movie feels like it was made by 2 different people. That feels like it was made by the new guy. By the way, the director of this movie is one of the guys who made Workaholics, so it does have that going for it. But that is the premise of the movie. Shooter McGavin is also in this movie, and like it's advertised like he's gonna be kind of an antagonistic thing. But this movie takes a very good contemporary Adam Sandler spin, where he tries to put more adult moments in his movies. So like if you've seen like Hoops, or is that the name of the movie? Is it Hoops? Is that his basketball movie? Anybody?
You ask on the wrong guy.
Hoops.
What is it?
Are you talking about the Will Ferrell one?
Hustle. No.
Oh, okay.
So he's got Hustle, Hubie Halloween, Sandy Wexler, like Spaceman. He has a variety of movies more recently where he tries to have a little bit more real moments in them, and I think that stems all the way back from Funny People and Bedtime Stories. So he has like a real moment in this movie where Happy and Shooter McGavin meet at his grandma's grave, and in the graveyard are all the people who died between Happy Gilmore 1 and Happy Gilmore 2, so it's like sad and happy because it's like, oh yeah, no, that actress, like, of course grandma's dead, it's been 20 years, and then it's like, oh, like these actors are all actually dead, got it.
And that probably hits because if there's one thing that can be said about what's his name, Adam Sandler, it seems like he really takes care of his people, like they're a tight-knit crew, so that probably really stings.
Yeah, the crew's all in the movie, or a good chunk of them. But like the point is like they have a lot of callbacks to like the first movie in a handful of ways. And so like him and Shooter kind of like beat the shit out of each other for a little bit, and then they're like, God, we're fucking old, man. And then they like talk out the rest of it. And it's good because like they're friends after that, and like they kind of shit on each other and like, yeah, that was kind of crazy that we were like that back then, you know. Because Happy's gone through a lot in this movie. Do y'all want this the spoiler out of it?
Oh, please, I'm begging for it.
So the premise of this movie is Happy 20 years later, he's quit golf because he had trauma from it and he became an alcoholic with 5 kids maybe, because he killed his wife with a golf swing.
Holy shit.
Like, yeah, no, she's like watching him at one of his tournaments, and one of his balls like slices way right, hits her right in the head, and she dies on contact from blunt force trauma. So he quits golf and becomes an alcoholic. And there's an ongoing joke in the movie. It is very funny where everything is a flask. Like he pulls a cucumber out of a grocery store and like just starts drinking from it, and it's super, it's funny. Okay?
That's a good gag. That's good.
It's a good gag. Yeah, it's fine. The supporting comedian in the movie is Bad Bunny, which is the rapper, which is very interesting.
Is he funny? Sometimes rappers can be really good at like random acting.
He is not unfunny.
Yes, exactly. Okay, we'll take it.
He does a good job. It was just very weird. Like the reason why is Adam Sandler saw him host an SNL, and he was like, "Dude, this guy's pretty damn funny. Like, I want this in the movie." So Bad Bunny plays his caddy. It's a good bit for new audiences, at least for sure. Do y'all remember You Will Not Make This Shot, Jackass character?
Yes.
From the first movie? His son is in this movie. Not the actor's son, but the story son is in this movie, and it's played by Eminem. It's so fucking out there, because I was literally talking about Eminem before this movie, and I was like talking to like one of my funniest bits I think in all of movies is in the interview where Eminem is like, "Yeah, I'm gay," and it's like,
it's a good bit.
Yeah, I'm like, that's such a good bit. He's so fucking funny, and then he shows up in this movie. I was like, oh my god. So that was a good bit. This wasn't the worst thing he's put out. In fact, I would say it's better than like Pixels, The Cobbler, Zookeepers, Grown Ups 2. I would even say it's maybe above Don't Mess with Zohan. And that's my boy.
I really hope so. Don't Mess with Zohan so bad.
It is on the upper. So like if we refer back to my chart that I made a couple months ago for like what is the golden line of critical feedback we want to see
Tyler,
a successful Adam Sandler movie.
This was
We're
long
shooting
time
for that,
ago now.
like 57% to 63% rotten score. Like if that's what they're calling the movie as, it's probably one of the upper end Adam Sandler movies in terms of comedy. And this one I think is in that era. So like, yeah, it's up there good.
I really love how much thought you've put into that, and like over time you've really convinced me that you're not insane. And that like you were onto something. You grasped something fundamental that I think most people can't see. I'll just say that.
Dude, he gets to be Hollywood without doing the Hollywood. Like he just gets to make movies with his friends, you know, and I think that's cool.
Good for him. Now, wrap us up here on at least your topics with Rick and Morty Season 8. I'm just so excited to hear about more Rick and Morty. I love this show, for sure.
I'm going to get up and go do something that is non-related to this for no reason other than I have to go do it right now.
Wait, what?
Damn, that sucks. Oh, wait, I have to go blow my nose.
What is this bit?
I have to go blow my nose for like roughly 8 minutes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Willer loves Rick and Morty, and Bradley, you need to get on the Rick and Morty train, dog.
I wish I could be a hater, but every time I watch one of the newer episodes, I end up laughing my ass off. So I don't know what to say.
You're stupid.
Yes.
So season 8 wrapped up. It started streaming in like May and then July. Like they didn't miss a single week. Super quick, 10 episodes in a season. It was great. Um, this season reminded me the most of season 2, which was like the peak Rick and Morty era.
That is peak Rick and Morty.
Like nothing stood out in terms of like this is an amazing episode. I'm gonna remember it forever. But they were all so episodic, and it was just a good time. Some human moments in them, like how like Rick and Morty likes to get deep and explore like emotions and stuff and like relationships. They have a couple of dude.
Kind of falls flat sometimes.
Yeah, they have a couple of those, and they're not deep enough that I'm like, oh, I'm genuinely trying to be depressed over animated characters, sort of thing. But they all just hit like a nice spot. Like if you care enough, like you've been watching this show, and like, oh, that's cool to see this relationship.
Yeah, we'll take that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. There's 2 Jerry episodes this season.
Oh.
And
you know what?
It's crazy because I watched the first one and I'm like, all right, I'm always a good Jerry episode. The final, I think it's like the 3 or 4. It's like the 8th episode. Is a Jerry episode, so it's close to the end of the season. Oh, it's so good. It's like one of the best episodes they've done in a while. I don't know why. It was just really good. Like the other episode is Jerry turns into the Easter Bunny. And it's a Jerry episode and it's on there, but it's not something if I had to give somebody a consolidated list of must-watch Rick and Morty episodes, I don't know if I'd put it on there.
Really?
Yeah, he turns into the Easter Bunny because he runs over the real Easter Bunny.
Santa Claus.
Yes, that's it. He gets Santa Claus, but it turns out the Easter Bunny is being hunted by space Christians who are all Jesus Christ, and they're all immortal. And the reason why they're doing that is that the Easter Bunny is actually a parasite on worlds that tries to end worlds by making everybody just mate to their deaths like Easter bunnies or like bunnies do will sometimes. And yeah, it's
I saw shorts about this.
Yeah, it's not great. I wouldn't show it to Willer in my single instance of I get to make Willer watch a Rick and Morty episode. I'd definitely show him the other one.
I appreciate that you put some thought into that and have some standards because you probably shouldn't show me that one. That seems so bad.
There's another episode in this season. So if you don't know, there's 2 Beths now.
Yes. That's actually an interesting part of the show, I will say.
It's so good because I showed you the episode where the other Beth shows back. Yeah, and like Jerry turns into a pill bug. Great episode. Like that is a good bit where it's like Summer's like, Morty, I see you're also seeing things, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's just like, yeah, but you're kind of like dead inside like me and just wanting to like play video games to like distract yourself from the real world. He's like, yep, video games are good. That's why they're here. Good bit. But yeah, there's a episode in this one where both like the Beths take turns making themselves younger, and we have an episode a few seasons before this where Rick is developing his relationship with Beth, and he's like, dude, you were it's from a long time ago. It's a deep pool, maybe like season 3 or 4, where like Beth trapped a kid in an alternate dimension and he like has sex with the creatures to produce offspring to create cannibalism. Cursed episode. So from that episode, we learned that young Beth is a little psychopath. So they take turns making themselves young again, and then they both end up being young, and they are just destroying the neighbor's like house and shit, and just being little menaces to society. And it's
Rick and Beth become young, or Beth?
No. Both the Beths make themselves into little kids.
Okay.
And just become little dueling psychopaths.
Interesting.
Yeah. That was a good bit. But yeah, solid season for sure. They're getting out there with the names. If you don't know the names, always have to have Rick in them or
Yes.
Morty.
Yep.
And one of the episodes, this name is the Curixious Case of Benjamin Button. And I'm like, all right, they're running out of movies. They also have one called Hot Rick, which is like Hot Fuzz, and I like that one. Morty's son makes a comeback in this season 2. Not Naruto, his other son. His first son.
I forgot about Naruto.
Yeah, literally, because that's a line from one of the shows. He's like, "Oh yeah, Naruto." Good bits.
Do you think Kishimoto knows that somewhere out there's a Western cartoon where there's a prominent space baby named after his beloved creation Naruto?
He has to.
I hope he doesn't.
Man.
I hope he's ignorant to these untruths that exist in the world.
All the side plots are very entertaining in these episodes, and it is kind of like each episode is kind of split into an A-B plot now.
His name is Naruto Smith.
Yeah, it's a good bit.
It's pretty good. Yeah, bad show though. I didn't laugh. Who laughed?
Not Willer.
No. All right.
Okay.
That's Rick and Mortis. Joe.
I will. Yeah, good bits. I'll show you more when you come by, Willer.
Oh, delightful. You know, Tyler, if I end up moving next to you, I'm gonna force you and Bradley to play video games, and then you can as a trade-off, we can end the night with watching a Rick and Morty. Okay.
Oh, that'll be a good time.
Not so bad.
I'll be here playing with my little men.
Please, I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry. Okay, but you know, Joe, what you can tell me about is a video game that I really like, and I recommend it to you.
Yes.
Called Project W, aka Hi-Fi Rush.
Did it finally happen?
I did. I played Hi-Fi Rush. I thought it was fine.
Fine or fun?
Fine. And fun. It is fun, but also just fine.
Okay. Next bit.
Give some pros and cons. Pros and cons.
So here, I'm just going to get like the most controversial thing out of the way. I was underwhelmed with the OST.
Really?
Yes. I did not feel like there was a song on there that I really enjoyed until the last, part of the game. Like, when you get shot into the cannon and you end up in the Vandalay,
And they play Intruders.
Intruders, which is one of my favorite songs. I put it on my pump-up list or, my workout list, whenever I'm doing stuff like that. I really like that song. I saw a clip of the game having it. I was like, oh, well, if they have this song, the rest of it has got to be bangers, right? And I just felt very, very underwhelmed with the song selection up until the very end of the game.
I will say,
man,
because I didn't dislike the OST. I do like it, but I'm not gonna act like it's full of bangers or anything. Because, for example, when I'm playing through Astrobot, at least once a play session, I realize I'm not even holding the controller. I'm just fucking jamming to the music on the couch.
Man,
I guess for a game where the music is the whole focus, you would hope it has more bangers.
I will say it was all bangers. Not only the licensed songs, but especially the OSTs. I like the song that plays in the first stage a lot. It's called "I Got This." I like the song that plays when you're interrogating or convincing Corsica. Both of the versions of the song when you fight Mimosa, I really like both of them. I guess you just expected the game to be more Invaders Must Die, electro rock kind of vibe.
Maybe. But I was expecting a wide variety, to be honest, of music, because it's if you're gonna have different rhythms and beats and the whole game's based around it, it'd be really fun to have different genres of music to play, right? I thought that would.
I feel like they mixed it up. Mimosa's very jazzy, and Rogueport is a classic song that's remixed.
Well, Rogueport, like I said, last part, all bangers. Rogueport shit, so good.
Rogueport's peak. He's so good.
Yeah, he's so good. I was like, oh my god. But I didn't like Mimosa's song. I thought that was a very for the character that's on stage and doing a performance. I thought it was very, very underwhelming. in my opinion.
I mean, fuck you, man. You get to do a guitar solo versus her jazz and beat up
That's-
her sideshow like dancers that come in.
Yeah, like that being said, like everything else about the game, well, I take that back. I think because of the way the song selection worked, I didn't jive as much as the combat either because I just couldn't get into the rhythm as well, right? So like I think that kind of like hooked into there, and like I think the combat's fine, but it's definitely not my favorite like combat to be playing that I've experienced. I would say.
I think when I enter the flow state, it feels really good in that game. But
I'll say,
it's not like
once the combat clicked for me and I was able to do stuff without having to actively think about it all the time, I was like, okay, hold on, this is like...
Yeah, and like
exactly.
I got there a few times. Like I got there with like the invaders must die, the rogue fork sequence, 9-Inch Nails when they started playing. I also got into it then, like against
You
KO.
are the perfect drug.
That show was so good. I was like, like this is like I was like, I'm getting music. I really enjoy that. I'm glad it's at the end of the
I
game.
see.
But like that aside, I liked everything else. I liked the characters. I liked the village. I liked the art style. I thought they did a great job of like the transitional cutscenes you would get, where like they do like the smoke effect, or they do some sort of like transitional like.
Yeah.
I was like, it's so fun and clever.
He walks up to that one robot and he's like, "Okay, let's just talk this out." And he gets blorfed in the face, and it transitions into a different art style.
Yeah, and like I think that's really fun. It gave me like really big Sly Cooper vibes of like the cast and the planning and everything that I really liked.
I really like the interaction, like, I don't know, just the dynamic everyone has. Because, like, by the end of the game, I feel like most of the cast just kind of settled into a dynamic of, like,
Yeah.
okay, the main guy, like, everyone else is, like, the people who come up with the plan, and Kai is just, like, we just point him in the direction.
My thing is, I really like Chai and, like, his coming-of-age story, as it were. Also, he's, like, 25, so he's not as young as he seems. But...
Yeah.
There's some indirect characterization there, because, like, at the start of the game, he's got his arm in a sling.
Yeah.
He's trying to get his arm replaced, and he's like, I'm going to be a rock star, and when you first hear that, it just kind of sounds stupid. Like, he's just like a stupid... No, but he literally, I think he has some nerve damage that made it so he couldn't pursue his dream. So this was his chance to pursue his dream, and then he gets caught into this whole cartoony adventure.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's all the characterization, all the story beats. It's like a simple story, but it's all there. It's really
simple,
well done.
effective, and very funny. There's some very funny bits.
Of course, getting her fucking skull bonked on every doorway.
Holy shit.
So funny. I do think the Corsica leading up to her section was just a bit long, but I think I might have been just having, like, a long night, and I was just so tired that I was getting, like, I was fucking up stuff, so I was just making things, like, longer for no reason.
I like that stage, because it introduces the samurais, and you have to, like, fight around the lasers. I had a good time.
I was starting on hard, and I ended up going down to normal, because I just, like, the rhythm's not getting to me, and I need to, like, actually, like, have some sort of leniency here.
Yeah, the samurai is a lock-in moment, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But, like, the character designs I really liked. The robots are really fun. I always the whole time playing the game, it's like they're just murdering these fucking guys, and like no one's taking any repercussion or actions. It really is like a Saturday morning cartoon.
I think they explode, and they live anyways, which is really funny.
Yeah, like it's like, but like it's like you've got I can't remember who the first boss is because she was so long ago.
It is
the security lady. Not security
what's
lady.
her name?
Rika? I think so.
Rekka.
Yeah. Like she's the one, like when, like, all right, whatever, but like she's the first boss, so like she can do her thing. But Zanzo, whatever his name is, who's just JoJo posing,
he's just JoJo.
It's just so funny. Corsica's great. Mimosa is also very good. I like the museum
the boss
section.
fight's good. Oh, the museum is a great stage.
Yeah. Kale, I think, is a fairly like. I kind of like the twist plot of it being like, oh, I'm not going to control everyone. They're just going to make them all buy my stuff, kind of a thing.
Simple.
Yeah, it's like okay, yeah, sure. I like that. It feels more realistic of what a billionaire kind of person would do, right? So the other one thing that frustrated me is like the timing of doing all the mini games for each one's like call in action when you have to do puzzles. I don't know what it was about it, but like it because like you call them in, and then you have to stance them up, and then they go into like a second animation, and then they start the mini game, and like it just fucked me up with my timing every time. I couldn't tell you why.
Interesting.
Like,
I definitely the first time you do it, especially like what's his name, Latte, the punchy guy.
Oh yeah, Macaron.
The first time I was doing Macaron, it was like it took me a sec, but I really got it. Joe, I think you might just be white.
Yeah, it might be true. Like, but it just was like I don't know. But those were like really small. Like, if they come out, it will never happen because Xbox Game Studio is fucking idiots. If they ever came out with a second one, I would definitely buy it and play it again.
I was gonna ask. That second one is happening. They got bought by another studio.
Well, Tame Game which got bought, but Hi-Fi Rush is still an Xbox property.
What?
Does that make sense? Yes.
No, I thought it was. No, don't take this away from me. No, don't leave me. Don't leave me. Oh, I hope you're wrong. I'm gonna look this up after. Anyways.
Yeah. But it's like it's definitely like I would play a sequel to it. I don't think it just didn't like dock my socks. I don't think it just was as impressive as it was for you. I would say, but I did enjoy it. Like it was.
I fucking love this game. And Bradley really liked it too. It got pretty high.
Oh my god!
Got like second in our game of the year that year.
I think it got like, something.
It's
like
just
that.
very original. Like it feels very PS2.
Yeah. I like it is frustrating though because it's like, oh man, it is very PS2, right? It's like there's some really cool things here, and I think like they make a sequel and they just build off of this, they can have something really good and locked in. And I think like you have a goodwill that you can start pulling in some really cool licensed songs in as well too, right?
Yeah.
Like, not that doesn't make or break it, but it just was like it was fun to beat people up to The Prodigy or Nine Inch Nails.
I hope if they make a sequel that they have more songs for you. Then I think that would be cool.
I do like the song that's played when you're fighting the giant robot from the OST.
Too good to fail.
Yeah, I really like that one. I thought that was a really cool, like, emotional, like, the team is finally, like, actually we're on track.
That's The Whirring. That song is beautiful. I had to add that to actual song. Yeah.
The same, it's either part of that song, but also the song that uses the Chai does to, like, break the barrier they're in. I also really liked. I thought that was a good sequence.
It is the same song.
I can't remember because I was listening to it.
It kicks into it, maybe. It was a very cheesy but very good sequence.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, okay, we're finally like. I like music. I'm not like a crazy person, but like, it just was like I felt like I wish the songs felt a little bit more in tune to. I don't know, man. Like I feel crazy like not being impressed by the OST or like really kind of like jiving with it until that moment. That's like my big thing.
Yeah, I mean that'll do you in for a game like this for sure.
Yeah, but I did really like it. I did enjoy it.
All right, Bradley.
Oh yeah.
King of the Hill.
Before we move on, because we're here, I meant to ask Tyler before you left. Bradley, Silent Hill 2. Where are you at?
We've got to be pretty close to the end. I know. We kind of reenacted that. There's like this story they've been telling as we go through the game of like this lady who was on an island and this guy would row across the lake to go see her. So like we reenacted that. We had our whole Eddie boss fight, which like Eddie, you were cool. I liked you up until he was cool. He was, yeah.
You fight Eddie? Oh, I gotta get back to my playthrough. I want to see what that's like.
Okay, you are actually at the final like big portion of the game, I will say at this point because you're at the hotel now, I believe.
Yeah, I was like thematically all the stuff they're throwing at me seems like we're there.
Cool. I want to just take this moment because next month is like the cutoff deadline for you submitting stuff for me to play. So I don't know when we're going to meet next for podcast wise. So I just want to know, like, do you have a game you want me to play before the end of the year?
I've been trying to figure that out just because, like, I would want it to be something that really knocks your socks off. So I don't know, I'll think about it.
Hey,
okay.
My recommendation was just all right. So the bar is only up from here.
It's so true, but not really.
What does Bradley
kind of
play
rush.
that you haven't? Would be my question.
There's a few things. Now, as remember, like it. I need to be able to do it by the end of the year, and like if there is something like Space Station 13, which I don't think you'll recommend, Space Station 13, where it's kind of like nearly infinite,
No.
just some sort of grind rules, but like
I
yeah,
didn't want to do a 100-hour game either. Like some of the ideas I was floating was maybe like Soma, which was made by the Amnesia people. That's only like 8 hours long. So like
That's not a fair trade-off. And if Joe does Soma, I'll do Soma because Bradley
Yeah.
gifted me Soma like actually 8 years ago, and I keep
Oh
looking
my
at it.
God,
And
that's
you
ancient.
did because it was on sale. You genuinely gifted me that, and I want to play it. I just never get around to it.
yeah. I
But
meant to
it's-
ask Todd before he left, but like he did that. He has stuff to do. But yeah. Okay, I just want to know. But I really want to talk to you about Silent Hill 2, especially like that ending that will happen. So I'm very curious to know what your opinions are at the end.
Good deal.
Okay.
Lovely. And it can be ranked in our media of the year if we do that because it's a significant part as like the one game Bradley played this year. So I feel like it'd be fair to put it in. That's like a big part of the year.
New rules.
Yeah, new rules. All right.
Yep.
Now, Bradley, King of the Hill is back, and how do we feel about it?
I was very excited. It came back, and I was very happy with what I got actually. Because King of the Hill went off the air like I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, and it's one of my favorite shows of all time. I pretty much just have it playing on loop in the house at all times. And so I was excited there was a revival coming. I was also kind of like wary of it because the last 1 or 2 seasons of King of the Hill kind of had some stinkers. And also with any revival, it's like I want to know that the people making it like get what the show was really about, or you want like the writing to feel kind of consistent. And I very much felt like we got that. The first episode was a very good primer, I think, for the rest of this new season for me, where the premise of this is Hank and Peggy actually moved to Saudi Arabia for a few years. Hank had like got a job with an oil and gas company. They moved over there for a few years to make like a ton of money to retire with, and then the premise of this season is them moving back to Texas to their old street. I think they were just renting out their house while they were gone, which it was kind of wild to see like Hank of all people living in Saudi Arabia, but apparently that's like a not uncommon thing for people working in the oil and gas industry in Texas, is to like go over there for a few years.
That's really interesting. Do you get to see like what his life was like during like clips and stuff?
Yeah, you get like clips and pieces, and it's funny the ways it's changed Hank, because like in the original series, one of the longest ongoing gags is just how much Hank hates soccer. He thinks it's effeminate, he thinks it's not a sport, all this stuff. But after spending a few years in Saudi Arabia, he's drinking beers with the guys in the alleys just like old times, and they're talking all this shit about soccer. And he's like, well, I mean, really, if you look at it, he's like, I think there's like some skill that goes into it, and then you end up finding out he's like, oh, like I fell in love with soccer while I was in Saudi Arabia, dude.
Dude, just hearing that makes me feel like a little bit emotional for some reason. Like that's such good character development. Like,
It's really good character development, and so they weren't afraid to change him in some ways, but I think they kept Hank the same in the ways that matter, because like. What I thought this entire season was going to be is I thought every episode was going to be them reacting to some new thing that's different. Like, oh, maybe they'll have one episode where they're reacting to streaming services, or they're going to have some episode where they're reacting to drones.
Which gets corny. I feel like that's what happens when like Full House comes back and becomes Fuller House, which I watched a lot because my little brother, when he was a little kid at like 5 or 6, he would just throw Full House on.
Really
this is the cutest thing. Anyways.
No, I think they did it really well, because they did have all of this, like, oh, there's all these new technologies and they're reacting to it, but I think they really front-loaded that into the first episode of this season, because it would have gotten old if they were doing it the whole season. So they kind of front-loaded it into this first half when they come back to Texas, and like DoorDash is a thing now, so Bill hasn't left his house in months, and they're like, oh my fucking god, what is this? And then I think Hank takes his first Uber, and the Uber driver did well, but he gave him a 4, because Hank's like, I think there's always something to improve on, and the Uber driver gets so fucking pissed at him. He's like, I can't believe you gave me a fucking 4. So I don't know. They're kind of going around town reacting to all like how things have changed. And the episode ends with them walking up to the supermarket, and there's Girl Scouts out in front. And at first, they're like, "Oh, it's something that's the same. It's something familiar to them." But then Hank's like, "I don't know. They're probably $50 now, and they're probably all gluten free and all this crap." And they walk up, and no, it's the same old Girl Scout cookies you've always loved, which is good because Hank is very scared and averse to change in general. But when they're looking over the cookies, he's like, "Oh, do y'all have the Samoas? Those are my favorites." And the girl's like, "Yeah, we have them, but they're called Caramel Delights now. It's just more respectful to people from Samoa." And Hank pauses for a second. He goes, "Oh, that's nice. I'll take a few boxes." And the reason I really like that moment is Hank has always been a very like traditional. He's averse to change. He's very conservative, but fundamentally, he has always been a very good dude. Like in the original series, he might feel uncomfortable around gay people, for example, but the one time his friends actually started making jokes about gay people, he was like, "Oh my god, y'all are fucking jerks." So like, I think Hank has always kind of had that line.
And like he's always been uncomfortable around Khan, was his name, and like the Vietnamese people that live next to him, and you know his father is also part of that. And you know he's still open minded in his weird Texan conservative ways. So
That's the thing. That's why I really like that moment with the Samoa cookies, because like he is averse to change, but he's not an asshole, and that's the moment that kind of signaled to me the people writing the show understand how Hank is supposed to play off of these different things. So that was a very cool first episode, and I won't go through every single episode, just like picking out some highlights. Bobby at this point in the show now is like he's grown up. He's like 21, 22. He runs his own German Japanese fusion restaurant in Dallas. And so I don't know. They ended up doing really fun things with the characters that I felt like we never. I don't know. As an example, in the original series, Hank never really accepts that Bobby is good at anything. It's kind of a constant in the series that Bobby is good at stuff. There are even some things Bobby could be said to be a prodigy at, but they're just not things Hank cares about. They're not football, so Hank just doesn't notice it. And then he's over here lamenting. He's like, "Oh my God, my son is going to be a loser who's not good at anything." But then you get into this season, and Bobby is running a very successful restaurant that people really, really like. And Hank is going to come eat a meal at his son's restaurant, but just can't accept that Bobby knows what the fuck he's doing and is a good ass chef. Because, like, for example, Bobby's like very traditional with his cooking. He's like, this is a dish, and he's like, I'm cooking it the way they would have cooked it in Japan back in the 1600s with this very specific charcoal. And you know, Hank's like, no, he's like, I only eat my meat when it's cooked on propane. He's like, I don't all that shit. And by the end of the episode, he ends up kind of coming around and accepting, like, man, maybe there are some things that Bobby knows better than me on. Like he ends up trying his food and he's like, holy shit, that was really good. And he even came around on the charcoal thing where it's like, Hank loves propane, but he also loves tradition. And he's like, you know what? If the accurate traditional way to make this dish is using that charcoal, then fuck it. That's the traditional way to do it. So I like that they were able to kind of like weasel him around to liking it without like using elements of his character that already exist.
Mm-hmm.
Some other fun things. Oh my God. So Bill.
Oh boy. Oh.
And Hank's like,
Sorry,
I'm just
sorry,
gonna
Bradley.
follow him.
Sorry, Bradley. You cut out for like multiple seconds. You were saying Bill.
Oh yeah, sorry. I don't know. Maybe my internet's bad. Anyway, so Bill keeps talking about all these new friends he has. He keeps calling them his boys. And Hank is like, I'm just going to follow him when he goes to see his boys, because he's like, I wouldn't put it past Bill to make friends with some squirrels and pretend they're people and call them his boys just because he's lonely. So Hank follows him, and Bill walks into a black barbershop, which is apparently where he's been hanging out. which is it's to me it's just hilarious to see any of these four main guys going into a black barbershop.
That sounds peak.
But then it actually ended up kind of making sense why he was there. The guy who was renting Hank's house when he was out of the country was a black guy, ended up making friends with Bill, and Bill was a barber for like 30, 40 years, and he's been like just like lonely and depressed since he's been retired. And so this guy was like, oh, well, maybe you could grab a chair at this barbershop I go to. So like he actually got in the door there in a very natural way. But it's very funny to see someone like Hank navigating like the conversations of a black barbershop. So that's fun. And then only other episode I really wanted to talk about because I thought it was really interesting is there's an episode centered around GH, which GH is technically Hank's little brother. His super old dad, like the year, like his ancient ass dad, like
Is
the
he
year
still
before
alive, by the way?
Oh no, he's dead.
Okay.
But before he died, he ended up knocking up a girl, and so Hank has a brother who's like 40 years younger than him. And so they had a really interesting episode where obviously this kid doesn't have a father figure in his life because Hank's dad died, and it's probably better that he died. He'd probably turn out worse if Hank's dad was still alive. But his mom is just like really pleading with Hank, like he just really needs like a good male role model in his life, and Hank's like, I already did my time, I already fucking raised a kid. But this kid ends up getting really interested in these YouTubers who are very reminiscent of like Andrew Tate, for example.
Ooh.
They are very like about promoting masculinity, and he's even showing Hank one of these videos on his smartphone, and they're like, we're all about the 3 Fs. We're all about family, faith, and finances. And you know, to Hank, he's like, I mean, yeah, I think those are three wonderful things. I think the family unit's great. I think people should be smart about their finances. And he's like, I like faith. I don't see how this could be a bad thing. And he ends up going with his little brother, nephew, whatever thing you want to call it.
Yeah.
They end up going to one of these man camps run by one of these Andrew Tate guys. And for the first little bit of it, like, you know, Hank's like, yeah, I mean, I kind of like the idea of, you know, inflating the positive masculine values and stuff like that. But then as they keep going through the camp, Hank gets really, really soured on it. Because he's like, I don't think this is a version of masculinity I really want to subscribe to, because the people running this camp keep saying all this horrible shit about women. Basically a lot of the guys there have just had experiences that were like, wife left me, took all my money, so ergo women are ruining my life. Or maybe one of the younger guys there is like, I asked out this girl, she made fun of me, ergo women are ruining my life, which is kind of like the running theme with all of the characters besides Hank who are at this camp, which is that they're people who have been hurt by women and have gone just so far in that direction that they're like, women are responsible for all of our problems.
That is a fascinating episode concept, because like that is incredibly present and not touched upon in media. Like that is the active right-wing pipeline of like just get hurt and then fall into these like spirals that lead into that kind of Andrew Tate style viewership, and that's cool that they're tackling that.
Yeah, because like it's a problem people know about, but like you said, I don't think I've seen anything actually address or tackle the issue. And I think King of the Hill is a very good show to do that, because like the values that these people in these places say they represent are things that Hank would normally get behind. But whenever they get to this point in the episode where they're just talking shit about how the women in our lives just always make everything worse and blah blah blah, Hank goes off on them, and he's like, I have had just like the most lovely and hardworking, loyal wife for 30, 40 years now. She has not ruined my life. He's like, I've had female employees who busted their asses just as hard as the guys. He's like, I think it's pretty telling that I'm the only guy in this room who is married. And so, I don't know, like, I just loved having him tell these Andrew Tate guys off.
Hank is so perfect for this because, you know, those kinds of movements on the surface level, they are promoting these things that, you know, there's nothing to complain about. Like when you look at the 3 Fs, It's the venom hiding underneath those three Fs that really is problematic. You know what? I bet people call this season woke as fuck, which is it would not surprise me.
Isn't that the point of King of the
Yeah,
Hill though?
it's King of the Hill supposed to like point a mirror and be slightly woke, right? Like I'm not misremembering.
It's always had a little bit of that. I think the core of the show is just the core of the show is having a very traditional set in his ways man react to a changing world.
Which is, that's the thing though. Like a world changing is what people call woke these days, and like that's what people are adverse to. So it, by definition, I think it is woke, quote unquote.
So like I don't know, between that episode and some of the other ones I talked about, I felt like these writers really had a good feel on what King of the Hill is supposed to try to do. I think they had a good feel on like the characters and what the characters would do in given situations. I call this a successful revival, and I think they've already greenlit more episodes.
This seems really good. Like this seems very like a good evolution of King of the Hill, and I might check this out.
Yeah, no, I was a fan. I was very apprehensive going into it, but I ended up being pleased.
Thing is, I never watched all of King of the Hill, like in Beyond, and I watched a bunch of episodes. Do you think like I could just jump into this because I don't want to go through the whole shebang?
It's not like you need encyclopedic knowledge of every episode.
I think I know enough. Like I don't remember his brother, for example, so that might be a thing. But
I think the only things that are really important are like maybe the relationships between characters, like knowing Bobby and Connie used to be little boyfriends and girlfriends when they were little, knowing Hank has a little brother. I think if you know like the big strokes like that, you're in pretty good shape.
Cool. All right, we have a scenic route we could do if we want. Just real quick, Bradley, give us your review on Superman. Just glaze it up, bro. I want to hear it.
That's the thing. I think last time we recorded, the movie had been out for maybe a little less than a week, but
something like that, yeah.
But I ended up watching it a few days after we recorded, and this movie was exactly as good as I hoped it would be. It got an easy 10 out of 10 for me.
Nice.
I love to hear it. Yeah, yep. I was worried that we were glazing it too hard, and I was like, oh, I hope we're not setting bad expectations.
That's why when I did I'll post like recommends or whatever in our group chat, and I'm like, I don't want to put a distinct number on this because I don't want to like overhype the movie for Bradley or Willer.
I'm usually immune to that. The one thing I wasn't immune to was for sure Bullet Train and
Thunderbolts.
And Thunderbolts, but Thunderbolts especially is because the entire internet was writing it, so I did fall for it a little bit there.
Yeah. Cool. I have I think it actually just came out on digital like today, if I remember correctly. So I might end up like buying it and booting it up for tonight to watch or something.
That sounds like a good fucking time. Bradley, what were your favorite moments and things in general?
Here, man, this happens very early in the movie, but I feel like it's very important for establishing to the audience what this movie wants to be and who Superman is, which is when all the heroes are the Justice Gang, they're fighting this big monster together, which is a very cool scenario because the other three are fighting this monster how you see people fight monsters in every other movie. Superman's only objective is to try to prevent collateral damage, basically. But there's that moment where there's a squirrel about to get crushed, and he flies over and he saves the squirrel, which, like, me and Emmy both just, like, gasped in delight out of that, because it's like, oh my god, he saved the squirrel. But I was really interested to see, after I finished this movie and I start combing the internet for all the information I can get on it, apparently test audiences did not like him saving the squirrel.
Yeah.
Because they're like, that's weird, that's random, like, why is he going out of his way to save the squirrel? But I think that just, like, furthered James Gunn's conviction that we need to have this scene in the movie, because I don't know, you talk about the value of arts in society and, like, I guess how they influence the populace. I feel like people really need this Superman messaging because like, to Superman, everyone is important, everyone is beautiful, everything is worth saving. And so when this test audience is like, why is he going out of his way to save the squirrel? to me, that's like, we need that scene in the movie, and we need Superman because people need to understand why that way of thinking is valuable or nice. I don't know.
That's a great way to put it. And you know, when people say, "Oh, this is the weakest version of Superman," like the stupid power scaling they do with it. The thing is, to me, this shows he's so powerful because he has such an awareness of his surroundings and what he can and can't do that he knows he can save that squirrel without jeopardizing anything else. Like, to me, that is just a feat, not just like a throwaway thing. Like, that says a lot about what he can do and what he's aware of.
What to me it just means, once again, like, we're gonna get, like, I'm begging and praying for like the Cardboard City speech or World of Cardboard speech.
I would love that, because you can even see in this movie like how much ass he is kicking while constantly having to save people. If he didn't, oh my god.
The movie constantly puts him in bad positions. And then people are like, "Oh, you should be able to fill his lungs because he can fly through space." It's like, relax, guys. It's not that serious. Now that we can speak spoiler free or spoiler full, what did y'all think about the fact that Clark's parents are not good people by our conventional ways of thinking? Because that is the hot topic with the movie amongst Steven Superman fans.
I don't know. Is that the hot topic? They seem like normal ass bumpkins.
No, sorry, his space parents.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant okay.
You know what? That's on me. That's on me because his parents are delightful in this movie. I love them.
I was like having crisis. I was like, did Mom, Pa, Kate call someone a slower? I just missed it.
When they were...
I was like, maybe I took a drink and they dropped an N-bomb or something.
You know, the less hopeful, realistic he lands in Kentucky or whatever.
I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's just one of those like seeds that's planted, and I'm hoping like we learn a little bit more in the future. If we don't, then it's kind of whatever. But I feel like it'd be very weird, especially if we're having Supergirl, who is very much aware of what Krypton was at the time of like its death. So I feel like it's planting of like a kind of like seed of something, right? But like it reminds me a lot of like Invincible when it comes to like the.
That's what people said. But apparently there have been Superman storylines where his parents are evil, so it wasn't out of nowhere. How did you feel about that, Bradley?
So I hadn't really thought how I felt about his parents until now, but I realized I do have a stance. I really like what they did with this second half revealed version of the message where they're like, you need to rule over humanity. I really liked it because I feel like what's going on inside Superman in this movie is like a who am I crisis. And that crisis, you know, if this second half of the message was something that was faked by Luthor and Superman's parents never actually said that, I feel like there's not as much of a crisis to him. It's just another fucking reason to hate Luthor.
I will also say it is definitely not faked. Maybe like some parts of it were cut, but the movie states it multiple times, and James Gunn has gone on to say, like, I said it like 12 times, it's not faked.
Like, it is real. And the reason I feel like it's good is because it is coming from his own parents. It is messing with Superman's identity, who he thinks he is, and what he thinks he should do. Because he even says it multiple times. He's like, I have lived my entire life based around that videotape and the idea that my parents told me to just come here and be a good person. And so when he finds out that the message isn't what he thought it was, there's all these thoughts going around in his head. He's like, is this not what I was meant to be? Or he's like, have I been following a broken message? And I think it's Pa Kent who says it at one point in the movie where he's like, what you wanted that message to say is way more important than what it actually said.
Dude, Pa Kent almost made me cry. I was saying I never cry at movies. Pa Kent almost got me, because also the way that he like... Pa Kent tells this random bullshit story about, like, it's not bullshit, but like it's just completely random about like a burrito place and how it's changed slightly or something. That just like speaks to this guy that like doesn't really know how to approach these emotional moments, but has these immensely loving feelings. So he tries to ease into it with like the old burrito place, and then he gets down to the core of the message. Good.
He's definitely struggling. It's like my parents never told me to go and be a Nazi, but I understand the feeling of like what I think something is not as what actually is, right?
So
like
a stance I've seen people have on the message, it's like, oh, it ruins the immigration message because he's here to be sent as a ruler. It's like, if you think that, that's bad on you. If you think all immigrants from a country we're warring with are immediately bad because their parents told them values that you don't agree with and they don't deserve the same chances that Clark gets, then that says more about you than it says about any message in the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, I happen to agree. Like,
so I don't think it muddies that imagery or that theme at all. It just adds a wrinkle that is interesting to think about.
I also like that, like, this is more on like a meta technical side. Like, one of my biggest complaints about like superhero movies is that in a lot of like this isn't a sequel, but it is like plopped in the middle of like Superman's life, right?
Yeah.
Like there's always the struggle to be a hero arc that happens, and like the hero's power is stripped away or they give up and they stop doing it for like a good portion of the movie. I feel like we kind of get that arc here, but like Superman, like it's done in a way that like Superman just isn't motivated to do it, but he doesn't stop being Superman. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, it's like, oh, he didn't just throw his shit away in the dumpster. He's just like, I have to be Superman, but like, it feels wrong to be this after knowing
it was an emotional crisis, not a annoying plot-stopping crisis.
Yes, it's just like, it's like, once again, going back to Fantastic Four and everything, it's just like, I want to see my superheroes be superheroes, right? And like fight bad guys. Like, I know that's monkey brain when it comes to this kind of films, but like that is part of the reason you come to these films. So
man,
yeah,
I want to rewatch this. Just talking about it again, I'm like,
you can get it.
I know. I'm thinking about it.
It's just but like we can talk about like Lex. God, Lex's in this movie is so peak. It's so good.
Perfect casting. Holy shit!
I want to punch him so bad.
Nicholas Hoult he got the assignment. He's just, I'm locking in. I'm in. I'm there. Like, he knew. Like, I don't know if it was just like he was on the same wavelength or James Gunn just directed him so well. Probably both, but like he is having so much fun with that character and like just the right amount of seriousness and corniness to him, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's really well played.
It's so good, and when he's doing the fucking Arc System Works combo callouts, it's
1A.
It's so good.
But then he does one of the most horrific things I've seen, which is just shoot one person, and I'm like, oh god. That hit me in a way that most superhero movies don't, because it was just so like, well, that's that. It was very final and very disgusting.
And I think the other thing too is that it's not like, oh, he has to like get a big laser gun and he blows up a planet, or like he like calls somebody. It's like that is someone in real life just as easy that anyone can do. They get a gun and they just shoot someone in the head, right?
Dude, that's what's amazing. He's threatening, and it's not because he's as powerful as Superman. I'm thinking of this scene where after Superman's dog gets stolen, he goes up to Lex's face and he's like, "Give me my fucking dog."
And he talks shit behind his mug. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. It's like, the thing is, I'm like, Superman is so powerful. He can do anything. But if he uses his powers, if he lays a finger on Lex, the whole world just makes Superman look worse. And Lex knows this. And Superman is pleading with him to give his dog back, and Lex just has this smug, shit-eating grin on his face because he's like, yeah, put your hands on me, because then I win. And I'm like, that to me is so much more interesting than just throwing hands with someone who's roughly as strong as you.
And like, it's the motivation too of like, I didn't make you look bad so I could start a war. I started a war so I could just beat you.
I was just about to. That line is so good. I started the conflict to kill you.
It's like this is Lex Luthor. This is how he should be. He is the man that could solve everything, but his ego is so big he'd rather just kill the one guy that's trying to do that, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's because, not even because like he like he can't do it. It's because like the possibility of like Superman gets the credit of doing it, or because Superman would share the spotlight with him. It's like it's like you get it. Like compared to like Jesse Eisenberg in like fucking Batman v Superman.
Dude, don't
like,
even. Don't even. Don't even.
It's just it's so good, and he's fun about it too. That's the other thing, right? Like it's just
It's entertaining.
It's so good, and like I'm so excited to see. I'm like
His future in this universe is
yeah.
dude. The idea of him having like a coming to terms moment, like 7 movies from now, just sounds so good.
Dude, that's the whole climax of All Star Superman. And it's so good.
Oh, I need it.
Like All Star Superman's got some great moments, and like and we're gonna get a scene. We have to get a scene where like Clark Kent goes and visits Lex Luthor because he's on death row in prison, and like a riot starts happening. So Clark has to protect Lex, but pretend to be a bumbling idiot, and so like it's just like a comedy of errors while like he's saving Lex from being killed by these supervillains.
Oh, Gunn would
fun.
kill that too. That seems right
like
up his action comedy.
There's
one thing I don't like about this movie. I want to bring up.
Yeah.
It's that
Not
I
fun,
wish Superman. Yeah, I wish Superman spared a thought or line for Bizarro or whatever Ultraman. Because like I just like before the reveal, he is like, you guys don't have to keep doing this. You can stop now. Like that's something. But like he sends that guy into a black hole and like shows no remorse, and because he's not consenting in this, so I do wish that he just spared a thought for the fact that this clone had no choice but to be part of this.
I think if James Gunn continues the route he's going, he's inspiring a lot by All Star Superman. He will. That's not going to be like a thrown away plot point because it is a plot point.
Apparently, it becomes like a Bizarro zone or something, and like, we'll see where that goes. But
so like I think it'll be a good moment later where it's potentially like he has to also think about. This is also the problem I have with No Way Home, where it's like the arc of Spider-Man trying to help the villains is him realizing that throwing people down the well does not solve the problem. He needs to actually fix the problem, kind of a thing, right? Like, and that arc is way too truncated within No Way Home because he's never suffered the losses and wins, right? And I think this is a good one for Superman, where it's like I have to now actually inspire someone that is designed to kill me to be better, right? And so I think. That's an arc that like he can go through, right? But I think that's just set up. Once again, we don't know what the fuck's going on. That could be nothing. I don't tie myself to things that I have no knowledge on, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that like if it's just a small, like if this is the only Superman movie we'll ever get in our lifespans, then I think that's a small flaw.
Yeah,
the movie.
Again, a small flaw is the best way to put it. All right, gang. Any final closing thoughts before we end this podcast?
I'm not like Superman. That was my favorite line.
But you know what? We could stand to be a little bit more like him. You know.
I want to see more hot girl. She was cute.
Yeah, she was. I want her to screech at me and drop me from the sky. All right, bye everyone.